The Larks Park in Hays as we gear up for Hays Larks baseball, the fourth and final game of this Kansas Collegiate League Baseball Jayhawk West Division showdown between the Hays Larks. Hays has taken 2 out of the first 3. They held on for a 6-5 win in the series opener on Friday night. Saturday night got run ruled 11-1 in 7 innings, and then came back last night, had a 7-2 lead going to the 9th, gave up 2 in the top of the 9th, but held on to win it by a final score of 7-4. So tonight they'll go for the series win and even the overall season series with the BJs at 4 games apiece, as they enter play with a 1-game lead over Liberal in the KCLB Jayhawk West Division. There's been one game involving a Jayhawk West Division team this afternoon. It was the Dodge City A's winning again as the A's moved to 16-9 overall. They got a non-division win in Wichita over the Valley Center Mud Daubers. 10-0 was that final in that run rule victory. Let's go ahead and run down the starting lineups for tonight. Let's start with the visitors from Liberal, the BJs, and their manager, Eric Olmstead. They're 16-9 overall, 14-9 against the KCLB, and 6-5 in the Jayhawk West Division. Jordan Williams will lead off and play third. Tristan Stacy, the center fielder, bats second. In right field, batting third is Connor Emmett. The designated hitter is Blake Dickman. He'll bat cleanup. Batting fifth and playing left field, Shane Serdashny. At second base is Brandon Holdren. He'll bat sixth. In the 7th slot, catching Colton Moore. At first base, batting eighth, Trevor Beard, and batting ninth and playing shortstop is Aiden Shepardson. Lefty Trevor McDonald will make his second start for Liberal. He has yet to figure in a decision. Frank Leo's Larks come into this one with a record of 20-5. They're 19-4 in the KCLB and 7-4 in the Jayhawk West Division with a 1-game lead over the BJs. And Frank's lineup goes like this tonight. Drake Angeron will lead off and play center field. George Sutherland will be in left field batting second. Playing second base, batting third, Justin Lee. Alex Strachan will be at first and bat cleanup. Mikey Gangwish, the designated hitter, bats fifth. Jared Belbin will be in right field batting sixth. Playing third base and batting seventh is Brooke Brandon. Catching and batting eighth, Max McGuire, and playing shortstop and batting ninth is Jimmy De Leon. Tommy Garcia gets the start for the Larks tonight. He has a 3-0 record with a couple of saves as he makes his first start of the summer. So the BJs will have Williams at third, Stacy in center, Emmett in right, Dickman the DH, Serdashny in left, Holdren at second, Moore catching, Beard at first, Shepardson at short, and McDonald on the mound. The Larks will counter with Angeron in center, Sutherland in left, Lee at second, Strachan at first, Gangwish the designated hitter, Belbin in right, Brandon at third, McGuire catching, De Leon at short, and Tommy Garcia on the mound. The umpires for tonight's game, Anthony Perez will be behind home plate, and Matt Weaver will be the home plate umpire. There you have it, tonight's starters and the umpires as we get set for Larks baseball on another warm, steamy evening in Hays, Kansas. We will take our final break. When we come back, we'll have the first pitch as the Larks and the BJs get set to close out this 4-game KCLB Jayhawk West Division Series. Final break coming up. Larks baseball right after that here on KAYS. Game 4 of this 4-game KCLB Jayhawk West Division Series. Both starting lineups have been introduced. The national anthem on the way, but before we get to that, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Larks Baseball. And our national anthem from Larks Park as we get set for Hays Larks baseball. It's Hays and Liberal in Game 4 of this 4-game KCLB Jayhawk West Division Series. As we mentioned, the Larks with a 1-game lead over Liberal in KCLB Jayhawk West Division play. The Larks are 7-4, BJ 6-5. Dodge City 3 games back. They are 2-6, but they're going to get a heavy dose. They've got 4 left with the Larks. They've got 4 left with the BJs here to close out their season. So a lot of baseball still to go, but this is a crucial game for both of these teams. If the Larks could somehow win, they would have a 2-game lead going into the final 4 games of division play. And if they will obviously lose, the 2 teams would be tied, so it'd be game on. And don't count Dodge out of the picture. They're playing much better baseball. Wellington still leads the South Central Division at 12-4. The Kansas Cannons are a game back at 10-4. Then the Kansas Curve at 4 back. Clearwater is 4.5 back. McPherson 5. Valley Center now 6.5 or 6 back, and Park City 7.5 games back. Tonight, Dodge beat the Bud Daubers of Valley Center 10-0. Those games are earlier. They had someone do some vandalism. They played Word of Life and stole the copper wiring, so they have no lights right now. So they're having to play earlier in the day, and boy, that could be tough with the hot temperatures we've had here as of late. Clearwater is at Wellington tonight. Liberal here in Hays. The Kansas Cannons hosting the Kansas Curve in Augusta, and the Park City Rangers at home taking on the McPherson Pipeliners. After tonight's game, the Larks get a couple of days off, and then they'll be out on the road for the next 4 and 5 of the next 6. This weekend, Thursday and Friday, they'll be in Wellington, and then Saturday and Sunday, they'll play 2 in McPherson. Their next home action is in a little over a week and 1 day, Tuesday the 9th. They'll be at home in a big game against Dodge City. Then they'll be home that weekend, 4 with 2 at Denver, 2 at Boulder, and then their last home game on the 16th against Dodge City. So the season is rapidly winding down, and some key games for everybody here down the stretch for the Larks as well as the Liberal BJs. So we're about ready to get this one underway. We are certainly glad to have you with us here tonight. Free admission as it is each and every night at Larks Park. Tonight's buyout sponsors, the First Care Clinic, Allstate Insurance, and agent Curtis Schmidberger, and Simply LLC. And big thanks to Simply. They maintain the Larks website and allow the live video stream on the YouTube channel to take place. And we're certainly glad to be a part of that here the last couple of nights, providing a play-by-play. Carson will be back for the next action, but glad to fill in and hope that you enjoy the broadcast here this evening. It's the Larks and the BJs, and we're ready to go and glad to have you with us along KAYS. Tommy Garcia making start number 1 for the Larks. He's been mainly used as their closer, but he will get the starting nod here tonight. So we'll see how he reacts to that. And his first pitch is fouled away for strike one. So 7:07 our first pitch. Sunny sky. There's a few high white clouds overhead, but mainly sunny. 91 degrees and a south-southeasterly wind blowing in at about 18 miles per hour. The windiest of the 4 games so far this weekend. Second offering from Garcia is up and in the count 1-1 strike. So the wind blowing in more from center and left center tonight. It's been blowing in. There's yet to be a home run in this, or the one home run in, or no home runs yet in this series. That other one came the last time out, so none hit by either team, and the wind has been blowing in, and even though it's short down the line, with that wind blowing in makes it difficult. Now, last night, Belbin robbed a home run from a BJ. There's a pitch high, and now it's 3-1 strike. So after a first pitch strike, Garcia falls behind 3-1, and it's always interesting when you take a guy who's only come out of the bullpen and he starts just a little bit different routine coming to the ballpark knowing you're starting. Pitch found back to the screen and the count 3-2. Although he has started a little bit in his collegiate career. He made one start this past season at Mesa Community College, but in his 18 junior college appearances at Mesa, only one start. So only the second time in his collegiate career that he's been a starter. So a little bit different mode here for Tommy Garcia, and he just misses high with the last offering. It's a leadoff walk. So not the start Garcia was hoping for, a walk to Jordan Williams. That's one thing the Larks have done a pretty good job of in this series. That is only the 5th walk in now 4 games in this series, and that is always so important. They had 2 free passes last night, but they have done a really good job of trying to limit the damage and not give Liberal any extra base runners. There's a fly ball headed toward right center. Belbin moving over. He's there to make the catch in the alley, and there's an out. So a big play there by the Larks right fielder, Jared Belbin, to track it down. One gone with a runner at first, and that brings up Connor Emmett. Defensively tonight, Brooke Brannon at third. Jimmy DeLeon will be the shortstop. Matt Cavanaugh is not with the team. Of course, you remember last night Matt was in the starting lineup and in the field for the top of the first, but then took ill between innings and left the game. He's not in the lineup tonight. Justin Lee is at second. Alex Strachan at first with Max McGuire behind the plate. George Sutherland in left. Drake Angeron in center, and Jared Belbin the starting right fielder tonight. Wyatt Divis is available. He did not come to batting practice. There's a pitch that's going to miss a little bit low for ball 1 to Connor Emmett. But he did call Frank Leo as we were recording our pregame chat and said he could probably go a couple of innings. So he is available should the Larks need him in relief a little bit later on tonight. And that certainly changes this contest because the Larks were a little thin on pitching. Fastball in there for a strike, catching the outside edge. 1-1 strike to Connor Emmett. Hitting .372, 7 doubles, 4 homers, 11 driven in for the Weatherford College sophomore out of Grapevine, Texas. He had a big night last night, 3 for 4 with a run scored. He singled in each of his last 3 at-bats. Here's the 1-1. This one a slider that tails in, and the count 2-1. Emmett 3 for 8 here in this series, and now 7 for 23 with an RBI and 3 runs scored against the Larks this summer, playing in his 6th game against Hays. Runner at first, 1 out. We're in the top of the first inning. There's a throw to first, and sliding back there safely is Williams, who has not stolen a base. He's 0 for 1 in stolen base attempts this year. Leadoff walk to Williams, then Stacy flied to right center. Now 2-1 to Connor Emmett. The pitch from Garcia chopped high into the air, and it's going to go foul. That ball bounced in front of the plate and went about 25 feet into the air before landing in foul territory. Had that stayed fair, that was going to be a difficult play. That was one of those custom artificial turf bounces, especially in the summertime when that turf heats up. You always saw that a lot at the NBC World Series in Wichita. They get those turf infield hits that can drive you crazy. You make a great pitch and it bounces 20 feet up into the air, and on a natural grass field would have been a routine out. Instead turns into a single. That was nearly the case there. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Emmett. And the fastball waved at and missed. A strikeout for Garcia. And after the leadoff walk, he's come back to get the next 2. And there's 2 gone here in the first inning. That'll bring up the designated hitter, Blake Dickman. Dickman hitting .348, 4 doubles, a home run, 13 driven in for the San Joaquin Delta College freshman. 2 for 5 with a couple of strikeouts last night. He's 3 for 9 in the series. Reached on an infield single in his last at-bat in the 9th inning last night. Tommy Garcia making appearance number 8, start number 1. A 3-0 record, does have 2 saves at a 1.50 earned run average. Trying to work around a leadoff walk, and there's a little nubber that's rolling foul down the third base line. Strike 1 to Dickman. 12 innings of work for Garcia. 10 hits, only 2 runs. Both have been earned with 3 walks and 10 strikeouts. This is his second outing against the BJs this weekend. He pitched in their 6-5 victory on Friday night and got his second save, went and came in and got the final out. Larks had a 6-0 lead, gave up 5 runs in the top of the 9th. Ground ball pulled foul as the runner was going, and now it's 0-2 to Dickman. So they went to Garcia. He made 1 pitch, got a grounder, and ended the game and picked up save number 2. He also pitched in Liberal on the 19th of June. That was a 10-3 BJ win. He went an inning, no runs, 1 hit with a strikeout. So he works with a runner at first and 2 outs. 0-2 to Dickman, who stands tall from the right side. And a swing and a miss. He got him to chase a breaking ball. So after the leadoff walk, a fly out and 2 strikeouts, and Tommy Garcia works around the leadoff walk. We played a half inning here at Larks Park. BJ's nothing. The Larks coming up. You're listening to Hays Larks Baseball on KAYS. Tommy Garcia worked around a leadoff walk, keeping the BJs off the board. It'll be Angeron Sutherland and Justin Lee facing Trevor McDonald for Liberal. McDonald making his 2nd start of the summer. This is his 6th overall appearance. He has yet to figure in a decision. He has a 5.62 earned run average. 8 innings of work for McDonald, 6 hits, 5 runs, all of them earned, 7 walks, 13 strikeouts. McDonald pitched an inning of relief in the Larks' 7-1 win in Liberal back on June 18th. Couple of hits, couple of runs, a walk and a strikeout, and did not figure in the decision. So the tall right-hander facing lefty Drake Angeron, and the first pitch, a fastball high for ball 1. Trevor McDonald struck out 4 in 2 innings of relief in a 3-0 BJ loss to Dodge City in his last outing last Saturday. Now ball 2 misses, and it's 2 balls and no strikes to Angeron. In that game against Dodge, gave up a run on a hit, walked 4, struck out 4. Now a strike, and a count 2-1 to Drake Angeron, the center fielder from Dodge City Community College, headed to Fort Hays State. He's had a hit in each of the first 3 games. Takes a slider in tight. Now 3-1. Drake hitting .346. 18 driven in, 6 doubles, a triple, and a home run. 1 for 5 last night. Scored a run and stole a base. He reached it on an infield single his last time up, and now a solid base hit into right field. So Angeron, now 4 hits in the series. He's had 1 hit in each game. And you're starting to see him kind of work himself out of that slump. We mentioned earlier that 14-game hit streak, now 6 for 33 in the 9 games since. Saturday night, he hit 3 rockets to the second baseman before getting an infield base hit, but that was a solid base hit in the right field. So the Larks leadoff man aboard for George Sutherland. Another lefty facing the right-hander Trevor McDonald. No score, bottom of the first. McDonald ready, brings home a pitch that's lined into left field right at Serdashny, who has to come in about 5 or 6 feet to make the catch. So a well-struck ball by Sutherland, but it's a line out. And the first down to the bottom of the first inning. Larks wearing red tonight. The blue numerals trimmed in white. The white pants. Of course, the red cap with the blue bill and that Lark logo on the front. Liberal wearing a camouflage blue jersey. Blue, white, and red camouflage with white numbers and lettering. Brilliant idea. White numbers on a light blue and white camo jersey. So the numbers a little bit difficult to pick up. They are white with red trim. Wearing the blue cap with the light blue bill and the BJ's logo on the front. Angeron at first with 1 out. Breaking ball drops in for a strike to Justin Lee. Angeron leads the Jayhawk League with 16 stolen bases. We'll see if the Larks have him running here. A modest lead at first. Was not going on the first pitch, not going here. Ground ball could be a double play. Second baseman Holdren to short. Over to first, there is the double play. And the inning comes to an end. That's the 4th turn by Liberal this series and their 45th this year. So the leadoff single does not result in anything. A 4-6-3 double play ends the inning, and the Larks go scoreless. We're through 1 here at Larks Park. Larks and BJ scoreless on KAYS. Spark between Hays and Liberal in this final game of the 4-game KCLB Jayhawk West Division Series. Larks baseball on KAYS, brought to you in part tonight by Phase 2 Screen Printing Embroidery. Hey, stop by the Fan Pavilion the next time you're at Larks Park over by the concession stand and check out the great Larks gear available. Phase 2 Screen Printing and Embroidery is the official apparel provider for Hays Larks baseball. So we move to the top of the second inning. Each team scoreless in their half of the first after each got their leadoff runner aboard. It'll be the 5, 6, and 7 hitters for the BJs, Serdashny, Holdren, and Moore. And there's a little looper on the infield. De Leon charges from the edge of the green turf, throws him out at first on a close play. Nicely done there by Jimmy De Leon to record the out on a high chopper on that turf, right on what would have been the infield grass for the out. And there's one gone, and now Garcia, after that leadoff walk, has retired 4 in a row. So 1 gone here in the second. That'll bring up Brandon Holdren. Holdren did not play last night. He's 2 for 7 in the first 2 games of the series, and he takes a pitch outside for ball 1. Holdren a double and a couple of RBIs. He's scored a couple of runs. He's hit safely in 3 straight. Up there from the left side is Holdren. He loses his bat as he fouls one back into the netting. And the count 1 ball and 1 strike. So he fouled it away and then lost the handle of it as it went all the way back to the ball went to the Larks side of the dugout, or Larks side of the backstop, and the bat went to the BJ side of the dugout. I mentioned earlier that McDonald was a lefty, and I gave the starting lineups. He bats left-handed, but he throws right-handed. Here's a pop-up. It's going to go foul and out of play along the left field side, and now 1 ball, 2 strikes to Holdren. So he has played a little bit in the field this year, or batted as McDonald. When he does, he bats left-handed, but he's a right-handed pitcher trying to get a win here tonight for the BJs. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Holdren, and a swing and a miss. That is 3 strikeouts now for Garcia, and in fact, 3 of the last 4 batters have gone down on strikes, all of them swinging. 2 up, 2 down now for the catcher, Colton Moore. Larks hoping 60 to 65, maybe 70 pitches, depending on how the stress level goes tonight for Garcia in his first start. Boy, if they can get an outing like they did last night from Gilliland, they're going to feel pretty good. Swing and a miss at a slider by Moore, strike 1. Colton Moore hitting .270 on the year. He has 2 extra base hits. Both have been home runs, and he's driven in 10. Moore, a sophomore to be at Texas State out of Bushland, Texas. Off speed pitch drops in there for a called strike. 0-2 to Moore. 1 for 4 last night. Had a second inning single and an inning-ending 5-3 double play in the 4th inning. He's 2 for 8 with an RBI this weekend as he fouls one out of play down the right side, and the count remains no balls and 2 strikes. Moore just 2 for 13 against the Larks this summer, playing in his 5th game. Made 4 starts, played in 9 games as a catcher at Texas State this season. Swings and misses, cannot connect with the fastball, and that's 4 strikeouts and 2 innings for Tommy Garcia as he sets the BJs down in order in the 2nd inning. We're through an inning and a half here at Larks Park. Larks and BJs scoreless. You're listening to Hays Larks Baseball on KAYS. Out of the bottom half of the 2nd inning. Larks baseball tonight on KAYS, brought to you by Dave's Auto Repair and Alignment. From brakes to alignments and everything in between, Dave's Auto Repair at 629 East 8th in Hays. Strachan, Gangwish, Belbin, the 4, 5, and 6 hitters facing Trevor McDonald. Larks leadoff batter Drake Angeron singled, but a double play ball from Justin Lee ending the inning. Larks have turned 7 in the series. The BJs have now turned 4 and 45 on the year. So the double play ball has been the pitcher's friend here this weekend. Alex Strachan up there now, batting for the first time, hitting .317 on the year. And the first pitch is lined into right field. Emmett coming in. He's got to let it bounce in front of him, and it'll be a base hit. So the Larks, like they did the first inning, open the 2nd with a base hit to right field. So Alex Strachan is aboard. That's now his 4th hit of the series. He's 4 for 9. That'll bring up the designated hitter, Mikey Gangwish. Mikey hitting .303, 20 for 66 this summer. He thought he had last night off, but then when Kavanaugh took sick between innings and couldn't play, Gangwish had to come in and catch, and then Hernan Yanez moved from catcher to second. And boy, did he play a good second base. He is such a versatile player. He can play about anywhere on the field. Swing and a miss by Gangwish, and the count, no balls and 1 strike. Mikey, 1 for 4 last night. That hit was a double. He's 4 for 11 here in the series. Batting .306, playing in his 67th career game as a Lark tonight. Swings and misses at another high fastball, and he quickly falls behind. No balls, 2 strikes. Larks playing the final game of this 4-game series, final game of the 8-game homestand. Trying to go 7-1 in the homestand. Here's the 0-2. Gangwish lines it toward the gap in left center. Serdashny over, and he runs it down. Now almost to second base was Strachan, and he is out. They double him up. He thought for sure that ball was going to drop. Instead, it was tracked down in the alley by Serdashny. And a base running mistake there by Strachan, and now just like that, there's nobody on it. 2 outs. Second double play of the game for the BJs. So 2 away now for Jared Belbin, who takes ball 1 high. Belbin hitting .346. 2 for 4 with an RBI last night, 3 for 8 in the series, playing in his 3rd game. Ball 2 away, 2-0. He's been pretty good against the BJs this summer, 8 for 21, 2 of those hits doubles. He's driven in 4. He's also walked 4 times. There's a pitch way outside, and a count 3-0. The Larks have been pretty patient at the plate. They have drawn 10 walks in the first 3 games of the series. They average about 6 walks per game, which leads the Jayhawk League. Here's the 3-0, and there is ball 4. So they draw their first walk of the game here with 2 outs in the 2nd inning. So the Larks have now had 3 base runners. And here comes Brooke Brandon, the batter. Jacksonville State product up there for the first time. 0 for 4 with an RBI last night on a ground out. He also struck out and lined out. That was his first action here in this series. So playing in his 2nd game this series against the BJs. In his 3rd game overall, he's 0 for 4. Pats with the runner at first and 2 outs. Takes a pitch low for ball 1. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Hays Larks Baseball. A 1-0 slider misses away. Brandon started to go, but pulled the bat back in time. And now it's 2 balls and no strikes. See if Hays can put together a 2-out rally here. They've hit into 2 double plays in each of the first 2 innings. Here's the 2-0. Swing and a miss, 2-1. The last double play, though, not traditional. Line drive out to left, and then Strachan got doubled up. It was all the way to second. He thought for sure that was in the gap, and he was looking to score. Instead, it was caught, and he did not get back to first base in time. 2-1 the count. McDonald ready, brings it home. There's the little chopper on the infield. Second baseman Holdren has to retreat to right field, but he's able to get it and make the throw in time, and the inning comes to an end. Lark Strand 1, we're through 2, still no score between Hays and Liberal. You're listening to Hays Larks Baseball on KAYS. 4 through 2 here at Larks Park. Tommy Garcia out to work the third inning. He has struck out 4 through the first 2 innings. Had the final 2 out on strikes in the first inning and the final 2 out in the second inning. All 4 of his strikeouts have been swinging as he makes his first start of the summer here in his 8th appearance. His long outing was 4 innings in Dodge City. That was his debut on June 5th. 4 scoreless with 5 hits, a walk, and a strikeout, and picked up the 4-inning save. He threw 51 pitches in that game, so that's his longest outing by pitch count and by innings pitched. We'll see if he can't match that tonight. If he does, you like the Larks' chances of having an opportunity to win this game. This is, as Frank Leo told us afterwards on Sunday night, probably the thinnest pitching staff he can remember and the smallest roster. He's had a couple of players. Michael Wong being shut down really kind of thwarted their pitching opportunities. He was going to be counted on as a starter. There's a strike to Beard. He was a guy that pitched well last year and was a known commodity, but then got shut down. He actually came to Hays and was expecting to pitch, but his college said no. There's a little flare into short right field. Belbin chasing near the line. Dives, he can't get it. It's a fair ball, and it rolls into the corner. Around second is Beard. He's going to put on the brakes there as Belbin's able to retreat it in foul ground. So it's going to be a double for Trevor Beard. A little blooper down the right field line. Belbin gave it a heck of a charge, laid out, and could not make the catch just in fair territory. Now he's hands on hips bent over, or hands on knees bent over out in foul ground, trying to gather himself. So a double, the 4th double given up by Garcia this year, and the BJs have a runner in scoring position. So they're the first team to get a runner to second base tonight. And now the number 9 hitter, Aiden Shepardson, the batter. Stands tall in the box from the right side. He squares to bunt and bunts it foul down the first base side for strike 1. Shepardson, a .316 hitter, 3 doubles, a home run. He's driven in 18. Just wrapped up his second year at McLennan Community College in Texas. He's a Round Rock, Texas native. 3 for 7 this weekend. 2 for 3 with a double and an RBI yesterday. He also grounded into one of their 3 double plays. Doubled in the 5th, had an RBI single in the 7th for the BJs last night. Trying to give them the 1-0 lead here in the 3rd. There's a slider that tails low and away, ball 1. 1-1 to Shepardson. He's had a heck of a summer against the Larks. He's playing in his 7th game against Hays, and he is 11 for 23. Has a double and has driven in 5. So he has been a tough customer for Larks pitchers. Shepardson, born in Vermont, calls Round Rock, Texas his home. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Ground ball to third. Brandon has it, looks the runner back, throws wild, and everybody's going to be safe. And now moving to third will be Beard, and up to second base goes Shepardson. So a throwing error, which looked to be a big out right there, and now the BJs have second and third and nobody out.
Top of the batting order, the third baseman, number 2.
So that'll be Brandon's 3rd error of the season. And the Larks with their first error of this game. They had an errorless game in their 6-5 win Friday, committed 3 on Saturday, although probably should have been 4. They were called for catcher interference. No one officially gave them an error on that, but it should have been. And then had 1 error last night. They did change a ruling, and probably the right call. And there's a little chopper to first, stabbed by Strachan. He's going to come home, and he is safe. They said he got in there before the tag. The ball appeared to get there in time, but they say that Beard slid under the tag. Crowd doesn't necessarily agree, but it's an RBI for Williams, reaching on the fielder's choice. So Strachan opted to come home instead of taking the sure out at first, and they do not get the call, and Beard slid under the tag, and it's 1-0 BJs. Runners at the corners, nobody out in the 3rd. There's a pitch fouled back, a slider off the bat of Stacy into the screen for strike 1. So stretching, and it was a pretty good throw. It was a close play, but boy, in that situation, you probably take the out. Instead, you open the door for a big inning for Liberal. Throw to first, runner back. No balls, one strike to Stacy. Williams has only one stolen base attempt this year, and he was unsuccessful. There's a strike to Stacy, and now it's 0-2. Boy, a strikeout would be large right here, and then you could hope for a ground ball double play to get out of the inning and limit the damage. BJ's up 1-0. Here's the 0-2 pitch, way outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Liberal 16-9 entering this one. 14-9 against the KCLB. 6-5 in the Jayhawk West Division. That's what matters. And the way it's set up, I mean, really, yeah, you play the other games, but they really don't have a big significance other than the ball bounces in front of home plate, and that will allow Williams to move up to second. So a wild pitch. So now second and third, nobody out, and the count evens. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Tristan Stacy. 1-0 BJs, but looking for more here in the top of the third. A double, an error, and then a fielder's choice driving in a run. And there's a pitch fouled away, out of play right side. We'll do it again at 2-2. Larks off the next 2 nights after this one. Then they go on the road for 4, Thursday and Friday in Wellington, Saturday and Sunday. They will play in McPherson, then they're back at home a week from tomorrow against Dodge. There's a little looper into short right field, drifting near the line, making the catch is Belbin, and they're going to throw home, and it's a good one to hold the runners. Heck of a play by Belbin. You could see him kind of curling to make that catch in short foul territory in right field, trying to get a little bit of momentum for his throw, and it worked perfectly because it holds the runners. So 1 away now. And that'll bring up Connor Emmett, who struck out his first time up. Emmett now 3 for 9 here in the series. Garcia from the stretch. The right-hander brings on the fastball just by the glove of Strachan and into right field. 1 run will score. And again, Belbin showing off that arm, holds the second runner at third, but 2 runs are in. RBI number 12 for Emmett on a base hit to right field.
The designated hitter, number 17,
and the BJs have a 2-0 lead. So that decision by Strachan to try to get the out at home looking really big now. First and third, still only 1 out. And that throwing error has come back to bite the Larks. That second run is unearned. Blake Dickman now. Breaking ball, swung on and missed. They foul tipped it for strike 1. Dickman struck out for the final out of the first inning. 348 batter coming into tonight's game. He is now 3 for 11 with 3 strikeouts here in the series. And 7 for 24 and has struck out 3 times in now 8 games against the Larks. 2-0 BJs. Hits evened up at 2 apiece here in the third. Breaking ball is in there for a strike, and now 0-2 to Dickman. Again, a strikeout would be rather large right here. BJs have runners at the corners. They lead it 2-0. Lights have come on, the sun behind some clouds, making it a pretty pleasant evening right now. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Slider just missing. The unpaid umpires in attendance thought that was strike 3. The guy getting a check at the end of the night said ball 1. Anthony Perez, the home plate umpire. Matt Weaver on the bases. Throw to first, runner back. BJs have scored 2. Looking for more here in the top of the third. Still only 1 out. Larks have committed an error. Now the 1-2 pitch. Just a little bit high. Now it's 2-2. And you hear the crowd grumbling. They're not happy with this strike zone right now from Anthony Perez. Two balls, two strikes. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to third, but it's fouled. A nice snag by Eric Olmstead, the BJ's coach. Liberal High head football coach. Or baseball coach, excuse me. Boy, what a job he's done with that Redskin program. He has made them a pretty viable 5A baseball team. Two balls, two strikes. There's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 5 for Garcia. And now there's two gone here in the third.
Fielder number 14, Shane Serdashny.
Well, if Tommy can limit them to 2 runs, you'd feel pretty good about how this inning started. Now Shane Serdashny, who's made a couple of nice catches out in left field. Grounded out to short to open up the second inning. BJs have scored 2. They've got runners at the corners. Off speed, drops in there for a strike on the inside corner. 0-1 to Serdashny. Shane Serdashny. He'll be a sophomore at UT San Antonio from the Woodlands, north of Houston. Came in as a pinch runner in the 9th inning last night. He's 1 for 3 this weekend. There goes the runner. Pitch bounces in. Little hesitation. Throw not in time. And that's going to allow a run to score. Boy, I'm not sure why McGuire threw that down. He double clutched and then decided to throw it anyway. So Emmett steals a base, and then Williams comes home on the throw down to second. So some shaky decision making by the Larks this inning, and now they're down 3-0. There's a ground ball wide of third. And the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. So Strachan made a questionable decision on a ground ball. Tried to get the out at home instead of taking the sure out. And the Larks would be out of this mess already. And the throw was not in time. And then McGuire, who I could see if he didn't double clutch. He double clutched getting the ball out of his glove. And so you really had no chance to throw the runner out, but he threw it anyway. And that allowed Williams to easily score from third base. So now they're down 3-0. Here's the 1-2. Slider missing low and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And you're also now running up the pitch count for Tommy Garcia on an already thin bullpen. So sometimes you take the play that's given to you and you don't try to force something. And the Larks have tried to force a couple of things this inning, and now they're down 3-0. Look back to second. Garcia comes home. There's a fly ball to right. Belbin drifting over. He's under it and makes the catch in foul ground for the third out of the inning. But the BJs score 3. We move to the bottom of the third. Liberal 3, Larks nothing. You're listening to Larks Baseball on KAYS. Score 3 runs. They take advantage of a Larks error, so only one of the 3 runs turns out to be earned. 1 error charge, but a couple of mental errors on the Larks, and they're in a 3-0 hole. Max McGuire, Jimmy DeLeon, and Drake Angeron will be up there. McGuire had one of those questionable plays. Lines one into right field. That's going to loop and be down for a base hit. So the Larks have had 3 singles to right, all 3 to lead off an inning. In the first 2 innings, they've been gunned down with a double play. A traditional 4-6-3 to end the first inning. Last inning, it was on a fly ball into the gap that Sardashny ran down, and they doubled up Strachan at first. Well, see what the Larks can do here. They get their leadoff batter aboard, down 3-0. A lot of baseball to be played yet tonight, as Jimmy DeLeon will come to the plate. Jimmy up there from the right side. He had a good night last night, going 2 for 3. And he takes ball 1, 1-0. 2 for 3, a walk and a couple of runs scored. He singled to left in his first 2 at-bats last night. Now hitting .300, 3 for 10 here in the series. And he takes a slider at the knees that clips the outside edge for a strike, 1-1. Jimmy's hit safely in 8 of his last 11. Looking for his 4th hit here in this series. 1 ball, 1 strike to the Larks shortstop tonight. Takes away for a ball 2, 2-1. Jimmy played in 55 games this spring at Cochise College in Arizona. 7 doubles, 6 triples, 4 home runs, 38 driven in, hitting .283. He's hitting .329 for the Larks. Hits one to third. Right behind the bag is Williams. His only play to first, and it's in time for the out. McGuire safely to second base with 1 out. So DeLeon grounds out to third. He's the first out here of the 3rd inning, and that'll bring up Drake Angeron.
Number 1, Drake Angeron.
Angeron singled to right his first time up. He's now 4 for 14 in the series. Has a base hit in each of the 4 games now as he extends his hitting streak to 4. He had that 14-game hit streak earlier this year and then really struggled after that, but now showing some signs of getting back on a roll. Trying to drive in a run here in the bottom of the 3rd. Boy, even the Larks can only get 1 to answer would be big. There's a strike on the outside corner. Nothing in 1 to Angeron. So the Larks have had 3 hits tonight. All have been little bloopers. Angeron's is more of a line drive, but the other 2 little flares in the short right field. This is the first time the Larks have gotten a runner to second base. Angeron showing bunt and misses, and now he's down 0-2. Pitch from McDonald, breaking ball this time, stays up and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Drake Angeron. All Jayhawk West 2nd team at Dodge City Community College this spring. Started in 50 of 52 games. Led the team with 71 hits and 57 runs scored. It's a sharply hit ball to second. Holdren is there. He'll go to first for the out, and on the play, McGuire will scoot up to third base, but he's there with 2 outs now. So Angeron 1 for 2 after the ground out. 2 gone for George Sutherland. Boy, he hit it hard his last time up. Hit it into the gap in right center field. It was run down by Shane Sardashny. Sardashny's made a couple of nice plays. He did the same thing to Mikey Gangwish, robbing him of extra base hits and then getting a double play and to boot on it. 3-0 BJ's. First pitch is up, ball 1 to Sutherland. George 5 for 14 this weekend, a double and 3 driven in. He's now 11 for 26 against the BJ's. Pops one up left side. That's going to be foul and into the Larks bullpen and out of play for strike 1. Boy, some high clouds. There is a chance for some scattered showers, although it looks like we'll be safe getting this in tonight. But a few clouds have moved in, so the sun has gone behind the clouds to the west, and it has cooled it off and made it a fairly pleasant evening. 91 degrees at game time tonight, but not a bad evening here for Larks baseball. There's a fastball, again fouled away, and now 1 ball and 2 strikes to Sutherland. Larks down 3-0. BJ scoring 3 in the top of the third. Larks had an error, a couple of questionable decisions in the field, and it bit them for 3 runs. Here's the 0-2. Breaking ball stays up. The 1-2. Now it's 2-2. Justin Lee waits on deck. Larks have a runner at third. That is McGuire, who singled to right. Moved to second on a De Leon ground out, then moved to third on Angeron's ground out. There's a breaking ball that just stays away, and Sutherland has battled back from 1-2 to 3-2. Boy, just needs to find a way to get on base and bring up Justin Lee, who's been maybe the most consistent bat for the Larks this summer. Here's the 3-2 pitch, fouled straight back. Boy, he was right on it and fouled it straight back into the netting. So the count remains full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Nice crowd arriving late tonight. There's a fly ball headed toward left. Serdashny near the line and makes the catch in foul territory and takes a step and slams into the railing. So Serdashny's been very, very good in left field tonight for the BJs. Makes a catch in foul ground to end the Larks' threat. They strand a runner at third. We're through 3. Larks trail the BJs 3-0. You're listening to Hays Larks Baseball on KAYS. KAYS brought to you in part by Heartland Building Center. Price, quality, and service all under one roof in Hayes, Russell, and Stockton. BJs with a 3-run third lead the Larks 3-0 as we go to the fourth. Tommy Garcia needed 24 pitches that inning, and pitch count becomes big. He's making his first start of the summer tonight. Larks hoping to get about 60, maybe 70 pitches out of him. We'll see how it goes, but they've got a thin bullpen already, and the defense did not help him out in that last half frame. So, 6, 7, and 8 hitters, Holdren, Moore, and Beard facing Tommy Garcia. See if you can get a quick inning here and get the Larks back up. First pitch pop foul out of play. Strike 1 to Holdren. Holdren struck out his first time up. One of the 5 strikeouts tonight for Garcia. And that is a new season high. He had 10 coming into the game, of course, mainly a reliever. There's a line drive in the right. That'll nestle in front of Belbin for a base hit. So the BJs with their 3rd hit of the game. And they get their leadoff batter aboard for the 3rd time in 4 innings. Colton Moore, the batter now. He struck out to end the second. 2 for 9 in the series after going 1 for 4 last night. Just 2 for 14 against Larks pitching this summer is Colton Moore. He'll be a sophomore at Texas State. Right-handed pitcher, right-handed batter. And the first pitch popped him up, but this will be back and out of play. And the count 0-1 to Moore. Larks in those red jerseys with the blue lettering and white trim, Larks in bold print across the front. BJ's wearing their light blue and white camouflage jerseys, a little speckling of red with white numbers and red trim. Here's the 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss at a breaking ball. Garcia lost his cap on that pitch, and Moore came up empty on the swing, and now it's no balls and 2 strikes. Holdren with 1 stolen base this year, not a real big lead at first. Here's the 0-2. This one outside, good dig over there by the catcher McGuire, and again the cap coming off the head of Tommy Garcia. One ball, 2 strikes. Pitch from Garcia, breaking ball lifted to center. Angeron right there to make the catch. Makes about 10 paces over toward right field. He makes the play for out number 1.
The first baseman, number 20.
So Moore out of the
Trevor
fly
Beard.
ball to center. He's 0 for 2. And Trevor Beard will be the batter. Beard doubled and scored in that 3-run 3rd inning. A diving attempt by Belbin down the right field line. He came up empty and it rolled by him, and that allowed Beard to reach second base safely. It was a heck of an effort by Belbin. Throw down low on the first pitch. Misses for ball 1, 1-0. Beard hitting .347. That was just his 3rd extra base hit of the year. They've all been doubles. 3-0 BJs. Hits evened up at 3. The Larks have the only error thus far. Here's the 1-0. That's hit toward right field. Twisting near the line. It's going to be down but foul. Well, that was trouble in the right field corner, but it lands foul by about 3 feet. And the count 1 ball and 1 strike to Trevor Beard. Larks won last night 7-4. They won Friday night 6-5. They lost Saturday night 11-1 in 7 innings. Liberals taken 4 of the 7 meetings between these two. This is a big game. We talk about how big it is for the Larks. It's probably bigger for Liberal in the sense they lose. They're 2 games back of Hays and don't play him anymore. If they win, they're tied. There's a liner up the middle. That'll find its way into center field, and Liberals got first and second with 1 out. So Beard with his 2nd hit of the game.
The shortstop, number 12.
That'll bring up the
Aiden
shortstop,
Shepherdson.
Aiden Shepherdson, who reached on an error on a grounder to 3rd, and that kind of opened the floodgates in that 3rd inning. He sharply hit ball to 3rd, but Brandon fielded, looked the runner back, and then threw it wide. And the BJs had runners at the corners, nobody out. And then Williams hit it to 1st. And Strachan decided to come home with the play, did not get the throw in time. A run scored, and they did not get the sure out. There's a first pitch strike to Shepherdson, and it's 0-1. Shepherdson up there from the right side, stands up in the box, upright stance. 2 for 3 last night. He's hit safely in 11 of the last 15. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball grounded towards short. Gobbled up there by De Leon. They'll go to 3rd for the force out and get out number 2. And a good play there by the Larks shortstop, Jimmy De Leon, to get the force out. Beard to 2nd. Shepherdson will reach on the fielder's choice. He's aboard for the 2nd time. So now 1st and 2nd, 2 away. And the top of the order in Jordan Williams, who walked and reached on a fielder's choice. So officially 0 for 1, but he's been aboard twice. He's also scored a run. He scored when Emmett stole 2nd on that late throw down from McGuire. Pitch from Garcia in there for a called strike, 0-1. Tristan Statesy wakes on deck for the BJs. They lead at 3-0. 1st and 2nd, but now 2 outs. Garcia will look back at 2nd. Here he comes with the 0-1 pitch. Slider missing away. 1 ball, 1 strike to Williams, who has 4 extra base hits this summer, 3 doubles and a homer, and 13 driven in. Williams out of Angelo State. He'll be a redshirt sophomore. Here's the 1-1. Outside, 2-1. Matt. Justin Lee will be a teammate of Williams at Angelo State down in San Angelo, Texas next season. 2 balls and a strike. And there's a pop-up. That's going to be back over our heads and out of play, and even the count 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners at first and second here in the 4th. BJ's with a 3-0 lead. Garcia trying to end it right here. Here comes his 2-2 pitch. Popped him up. Short right. Second baseman Lee is back. He has it. And the inning comes to an end. The BJ's get a couple of hits. They strand 2. We go to the bottom of the 4th. The Larks trailing Liberal 3-0. You're listening to Larks Baseball on KAYS. Liberal as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Before we do, though, let's go ahead and pause 10 seconds for station identification. You are listening to Hays Larks Baseball. BJ's get 3 in the 3rd. They lead at 3-0 as the Larks bat here in the bottom of the 4th. Justin Lee, Alex Strachan, and Mikey Gangwish, the middle of the order, facing Trevor McDonald. He's looking for his first decision of the summer. His ERA over 5.5, 5.62, but so far he's held the Larks to 3 singles in this game. First pitch to Lee, pops him up right field. This could be trouble. Emmett charging, and he's going to laugh. So watch it land in front of him right by the railing. Ran out of room there, gave it a good charge. You could tell it was going to be trouble, and Lee catches a break as he hit it just enough out of everybody's reach there in foul ground. No balls, 1 strike. McDonald ready, the right-hander delivers. Lee takes a fastball high, and it's 1-1. Lee hit into an inning-ending 4-6-3 double play his first time up. He is now 2 for 8 here in this series. Did not play on Saturday night. And he takes a fastball inside. He backed away from it. It almost came back to catch the inside corner. It's a ball, now 2-1. Lee 6 for 18 with a couple of runs driven in against the BJ's this season. Playing in his 7th game, swings and misses. Fooled by that one, way out in front of it, 2-2. Lee had a team best 19-game hit streak. Snapped here earlier in the week against Valley Center. He's hit safely in 22 of his 24 games played. Leads the team and the KCLB with 29 runs scored, and he's down on strikes. Goes down looking. So that'll be the first strikeout of the game for McDonald. Gets Lee looking. And there's one away for the Larks in the 4th inning. That'll bring up Alex Strachan. He hit into an unconventional 7-3 double play. or was, I guess, doubled up, I should say. He didn't hit into it. Gangwish hit into it as Serdashny ran it down to the gap and then threw him out. There's a little blooper, and that's going to just get over the glove of the shortstop Shepherdson in left field for a base hit. So the Larks have had a base runner in every inning. That's their 4th hit. Little blooper in the short left field, and now Mikey Gangwish the batter.
The designated hitter, number 18, Mikey Gangwish.
Gangwish has hit 2 home runs this summer. He has 7 in his Larks career, and he's due. He hasn't homered since the 16th of June here against Park City. Hit one over the scoreboard in right field. The Larks would love that, although the wind will not help him. It's blowing in from center field tonight, and it will be into that breeze about 15 to 20. First pitch, a breaking ball away, 1-0. Gangwish hit it hard, a gapper into left center field, and you had to love the approach going the opposite way, but Serdashny made a great running catch, and then they doubled up, stretch it at first base. Here's the 1-0. There's a pop-up back and out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike to Gangwish. Designated hitter tonight, came in as the emergency catcher last night. One and 1 to count. McDonald from the stretch. A glance to first, brings the pitch home. It bounces in front of the plate, but Moore blocked it with his chest protector, and the ball bounced in front of him, so that did not allow the runner to move up to second base. Two and 1 to count. Gangwish up there from the left side. The pitch from McDonald, lifted foul down the left field line. And now the count evens, 2-2. Not a bad crowd here tonight. A little bit late arriving with a 91-degree first pitch, but it's turned out to be a pretty pleasant evening. Here's the 2-2. Check swing. Did he go around? They say he did. You hear the crowd's reaction. Mikey Gangwish is very frustrated with home plate umpire Anthony Perez. So he goes down looking. That's 2 outs now and brings up Jared Belbin.
Number 26, Jared Belbin.
The pitch was high. Gangwish showing his teammates as he gets into the dugout where his bat went. He is still hot about being called out on strike 3. There's a ground ball into the glove of the first baseman Beard, who grabs it on a knee, and that does it for the Larks in the 4th inning. They get a hit, they strand a runner. We're through 4. BJ's lead at 3-0. You're listening to Larks Baseball on KAYS. Making his first start, comes out to pitch. You got to figure this is probably his last inning. He has thrown 64 pitches. In fact, we'll see if he even completes the inning. 70 is what manager Frank Leo was saying was probably going to be the high end of his pitch count. We'll see how it goes.
Leading off for the BJs is the center fielder, number 41, Tristan Stacy.
warming up down in the bullpen. Here comes the first pitch from Garcia, grounded sharply towards short. De Leon has it, throw to first in time. That'll help. One pitch, one out here in the fifth inning.
The right fielder, number 9, Connor Emmett.
So Stacy 0 for 3 now. And that brings up Connor Emmett. Drove in a run in that 3-run third inning. In fact, drove in the final run of the 3-run inning. Now he shows bunt on a pitch that barrels up and in on Emmett. He backs away for a ball, 1-0. Liberal with 3 runs on 4 hits. The Larks no runs on 4 hits. Hays has the only error, but as we said earlier, a couple of mental errors in that third inning, allowing a couple of runs to score. Swing and a miss by Emmett on a fastball. Now it's 1-1. Here's the 1-1 from Garcia. Grounded foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. It's like Wyatt Divis is warming up down at the bullpen, so he has joined the team here today after missing yesterday. High pop-up, short left. De Leon into the outfield grass. Now back onto the edge of the infield turf, makes the catch, and there's 2 gone. So a ground out to short, and now a pop-up to short, and Blake Dickman will be the batter. Wyatt, in fact, has not been at the ballpark the last 2 nights, battling strep throat, but told Frank Leo he's good to go for a couple of innings tonight, and he looks to be the next arm for the Larks here this evening. Down 3-0, though. They need to get the bats going against McDonald. Blake Dickman, the batter now, 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. So no doubt he'll be glad when Garcia leaves the game. And he takes a slider low and away, ball 1. BJs have now struck out 5 times tonight and 21 times in the 4-game series. The pitch is grounded foul, 1 ball and 1 strike. They average about 6 strikeouts per game. That is last in the KCLB. They had 5 through the first 3 innings of this one. They have not struck out since the 3rd. But 21 times they've gone down on strikes, 9 times last night. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So Garcia, who has a new season high in strikeouts with his 5 tonight, trying to get number 6 and work his second 1-2-3 inning. 3-0 BJs here in the top of the 5th. And here's a fly ball, short right field. Belbin coming in. He's got a bead on it. He has the catch, and the inning comes to an end. The BJs go in order for the 2nd time tonight. We move to the bottom of the 5th here at Larks Park. Larks with some catching up to do. They trail Liberal 3-0. You're listening to Larks Baseball on KAYS. 3-0 Larks as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning here on a beautiful Monday evening at Larks Park. Certainly glad to have you aboard on KAYS, those on the Larks YouTube channel. Join Hays Larks Baseball, brought to you in part tonight on KAYS by Midwest Energy, making energy work for you, and by Next Tech Wireless, where you can save up to $300 per line, $200 when you activate a new smartphone, and they'll buy back your old phone. There's a sharply hit ground ball up the bat of Brandon to third. Throw to first in time, and quickly one pitch and one out for McDonald here in the bottom of the 5th.
The catcher, number 15, Max McGuire.
That'll bring up catcher Max McGuire. Plus a Next Tech Wireless, $100 instant credit on a new smartphone. It's all to Next Tech Wireless. Are you ready for something different? Max McGuire singled his first time up, a little blooper into right field. One of the 4 hits tonight. The Larks have had a hit in every inning. They've only advanced 1 runner to second base, however. They've had a couple of double plays they've hit into. First pitch drops in for a strike to McGuire, 0-1. Wind has died down, blowing in from center about 10 miles an hour. Swing and a miss there by McGuire, and he's behind 0-2. Trevor McDonald, right-hander, getting the start for the BJs here tonight. Making his second appearance for Liberal against Hays. Another ground ball, to Hopper to third. Williams behind the bag. The long throw over, pulls the first baseman off the bag. And McGuire is safe, so that'll be an error charged to the BJ third baseman. Each team with an error in the game. Both have been by the third baseman. So that's only the 3rd error this summer for Jordan Williams. And now to bring up Jimmy DeLeon. Jimmy grounded out to third, his only time up. He's 0 for 1. See if the Larks can't take advantage of the error here and get on the board. They're down 3-0 in the bottom of the 5th. DeLeon crowding the plate from the right side. That hunch stance takes a pitch into turf. Good block there by Moore, the catcher. It's 1-0. Thirty-fourth error for the BJs. That's the 6th for them in this series. Just ahead of the middle of the pack, 4th in errors coming into tonight's game in the KCLB. Swing and a miss. DeLeon had a big whack at that one, but comes up empty. Larks have committed 30 errors this year. That's the fewest in KCLB play. Now 31 tonight, and they have 5 this weekend. 1 ball, 1 strike to the number 9 hitter, DeLeon, batting with a runner at first and 1 out. Pitch from McDonald. DeLeon pulls it foul behind manager Frank Leo, who is also the third base coach. And rolls down that third base side and into foul territory. The ball girl tonight will track it down. You see those youngsters as ball boys and ball girls. You think of the tragedy that struck Liberal several years now back at the NBC World Series. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fly ball center field. Stacy drifts back about 10 feet. He's under it to make the catch, and now there's 2 away. So DeLeon out of the fly ball to center. Top of the order, Drake Angeron bats with 1 on and 2 out.
Drake Angeron.
Angeron singled to right his first time up and then grounded out to second in his last at bat. Well, if he could get one to the gap, who knows? Larks could possibly get a run. Swing and a miss at a high fastball, strike 1. Drake, obviously tremendous speed, leads the Jayhawk West and the KCLB with 16 steals. It is still difficult to not say the Jayhawk League. Such an institution since 1976, and how it all disbanded is probably the most disheartening part of it. Breaking ball misses away. 1 ball, 1 strike to Angeron. Kind of almost like the Baltimore Colts leaving in the middle of the night. for Indianapolis. Another pitch down low. 2-1. Next thing you knew, El Dorado, Great Bend, Derby, they were gone, and the league was over. 2 balls, 1 strike to Angeron. Now on to the Kansas Collegiate League Baseball, and it's been an interesting summer so far. There's a pitch outside. Now 3-1. The Larks have had outstanding success against the South Central Division. They have not lost to the division. In fact, they've run ruled 7 of their wins against them. And there's ball 4. So Angeron coaxes a walk. And now it's first and second with 2 away.
The left fielder, George Sutherland.
George Sutherland, who's hit the ball hard tonight, is up there. That's the first walk given up by McDonald this evening. He's only walked 8 on the year. 11th walk the Larks have coached this series. They average a little over 6 per game, which leads the Jayhawk or the KCLB. There, I did it again. First and second, 2 outs for Sutherland, who's lined to left and fouled out to left field. And he takes a strike, 0-1. Sutherland, a .376 hitter coming into the game. Now 5 for 15 in the series. Swings and lines one into center field. That'll be a base hit. McGuire around third. They're going to send him home. Throw is cut off. Now the pitcher throws it home. That was actually Beard, the first baseman. The throw was late. And the Larks score on the RBI single from Sutherland. So Beard cut it off at the mound and then threw home, but not in time. McGuire scores from second, and some aggressive base running there by the Larks and Coach Frank Leo.
Number 9, Justin Lee.
Angeron at second. And now Sutherland at first with 2 outs. The Larks have 5 hits, and Justin Lee the batter. Hit into an inning-ending double play in the first, and then struck out looking in the 4th. So let's see if Lee can possibly come through here. Larks are down 3-1, batting in the bottom of the 5th. Angeron dances there at second base. The pitch misses away. 1-0 to Justin Lee. 0 for 3 last night. Now 2 for 9 in the series. Probably the most consistent Larks hitter this summer. Takes a fastball low, and he's ahead 2-0. So the count in Lee's favor. McGuire reached on an error, so that run is unearned. Then a walk to Angeron and the RBI single to Sutherland. First and second, 2 away. Lee takes another pitch low. Slider tailing away, and now it's 3-0. Three balls, no strikes. Will the green light be on for Lee? It is not. He takes a ball. Was not a great pitch to swing at. Low and on the outside edge of the zone, 3-1. But you got to bet a 3-1. Lee has the green light. Larks leading hitter with a .414 average coming into the game. There's the 3-1 pitch. He takes high, ball 4. So 2 walks in the inning, and now the Larks have him loaded with 2 outs. We talked about it with Frank Leo before the game. Is it on Bull Durham? You throw the ball, you hit the ball, you catch the ball. But it's when you do it that wins and loses baseball games. And the Larks would love a big hit right here. Now a meeting on the mound as the infield's going to gather around Trevor McDonald. The BJ's pitching coach is going to make the walk out, discuss some strategy here. So a 2-out rally. McGuire reached on the air on the throwing error from third baseman Jordan Williams. And then De Leon flying to center for the second out. But then Angeron walked. Sutherland singled to center. That drove in McGuire. And then a walk to Lee. McDonald had not walked anybody through 4, but he has issued 2 with 2 outs here in the 5th inning. And now the bases are loaded, and this is the Larks' golden chance, you feel, right here if they're going to get back into this game. Larks baseball on KAYS, brought to you by USAFE Pharmacy, your locally owned full-service pharmacy at 2505 Canterbury in Hays. USAFE Pharmacy, a pharmacy for all of your needs. Alex Strachan, the batter. Bases loaded, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Strachan has hit safely in 11 consecutive, now 12 consecutive games, and he nearly gets hit. Pitch inside, ball 1. He's 2 for 2 tonight. A base hit to right field in the 2nd, a base hit to left field in the 4th. He has not had a 3-hit game this summer. Here's the 1-0. Breaking ball inside, 2-0. A walk would score a run. BJ scored 3 in the 3rd. Larks now with 1 and threatening for more in the bottom of the 5th. Bases loaded, 2 outs. The 2-0 pitch, big cut there, and it fouled straight back to the backstop, 2-1. Strachan was all over that one, but got on top of the ball and fouled it straight back. (3-1) BJs. Larks have out hit him 5-4. Here's the pitch. Fastball up and in. Now 3-1 to Strachan. Starting to warm up in the BJ bullpen. Very difficult to pick out the numbers. They've got the light blue and white camo with white numbers. We'll try to figure it out. We can tell it's a right-hander throwing. Here's the pitch. There's a line drive left field, base hit. Angeron will score. Here's Sutherland around 3rd. The throw, not in time. It bounces out of the glove of the catcher. It's a 2-run single for Strachan, who has a 3-hit night, and the Larks have tied it with 3 in the bottom of the 5th. Strachan 3 for 3 on a rope in the left field. The throw was in time. It took a 1 hop into the catcher's glove, but Moore could not hold on to it. And Sutherland was able to slide in for the 3rd run. Lee is at 2nd, Strachan at 1st, and now Mikey Gangwish, who's 0 for 2, a line out and a strikeout. He was not happy on his called 3rd strike last inning. Takes a breaking ball inside, 1-0. So the Larks have scored 3 to tie it here in the 5th. Looks like Jake Reed is warming up, the right-hander from Dixie State in the BJ's bullpen. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Just off the outside edge, 2-0, and McDonald, who'd been very good with his control in the first 4 innings, kind of laboring here in the 5th. Larks have 2 hits, 2 walks, and there's been a BJ error this inning. And all 3 runs are unearned. Here's the 2-0. Boy, that didn't miss by much, 3-0. Must have been a little bit low. A walk would load the bases for Belbin. Larks have scored 3 with 2 outs. Here's the 3-0. Ball 4. 4-pitch walk, and the bases are loaded. Lee to 3rd, Strachan to 2nd, and Gangwish to 1st. That's one area Mikey's been really good at this year, is drawing walks. And that looks like that's going to do it for McDonald here in the 5th inning. Gangwish had walked 13 times in his first 2 summers in Hays, and that was the 26th walk he's drawn this year. So a pitching change for Liberal. They'll go to the pen and bring in Jake Reed. We'll take a 1-minute break for the pitching change with the Larks trying to take the lead. We're tied at 3 here in the bottom of the 5th. You're listening to Hays Larks Baseball on KAYS. Liberal BJs. And now is what, a 3-3 game. Liberal got their 3 runs in the third. The Larks now with a 2-out rally, scoring 3 in the bottom of the 5th inning. So Jake Reed will come in and pitch for McDonald, who was cruising, and he got the first 2 outs. All 3 of the runs are unearned because of that throwing error from McGuire. So Reed will come in and pitch. Jake Reed, a right-hander from Dixie State. He'll be his junior. He's out of Flagstaff, Arizona. He's allowed only 1 run in his last 3 outings since giving up 5 at Wellington on the 12th of June. He has 2 saves against the Larks this summer. So he's making his 3rd appearance, and he'll face Jared Belbin with the bases loaded and 2 outs. And Belbin chops one to second. Beard has it, flips it over to the pitcher, Reed covering, and that'll do it for the Larks. But they score 3, all unearned, all with 2 outs, and they've tied the game. We're through 5. Larks 3, BJ's 3. You're listening to Larks Baseball on KAYS. The 5th, we've got a new ball game tied at 3. We're a little bit past the bottom of the hour, so let's use this opportunity to pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Hays Larks Baseball.
For the top of the 6th.
Now, Tommy Garcia needed only 9 innings to get out of the 5th, or 9 pitches to get out of the 5th inning, so it probably bought him another inning of work. So he'll come out and work the 6th. Shane Serdashny, Brandon Holdren, Colton Moore, 5, 6, and 7 in the BJ lineup, facing Tommy Garcia. He's making his first start, certainly has pitched well enough to get the win. There's a pop-up on the infield. Lee coming in. Now the first baseman Strachan will call him off. He'll make the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out here to start the 6th.
The second baseman, number 6.
So Holdren the batter now. Holdren's 1 for 2. Struck out in the 2nd and then singled. And was forced out at 3rd base in the 4th inning. Holdren, one of 2 lefties in the lineup tonight, facing the right-hander Tommy Garcia. 3-3 tie now here in the 6th inning. Larks have out hit the BJs 6-4. First pitch, fastball is missing low, ball 1. Crowd thought that was a strike. They were waiting for the strike signal. It never came, and they have not been happy with home plate umpire Anthony Perez. Swing and a miss at a fastball there, 1-1. Now his scoreboard says 0-2. I thought he said a ball on that first one. Here's the pitch. And did he go around? He did not go around, apparently. Well, they called Mikey Gattergon to appeal, and they said, yes, he went around. So they did call that a strike on the first pitch. It was a strike and not a ball. And there's a called strike 3. So I apologize for that. It was 0-2. Well, had they not turned that to a strike, Mikey Gangwish may come charging out of the dugout, because it appeared his check swing was much less and didn't go around nearly as much as that one. Now, Eric Olmstead is not happy, and he probably has a point. He may, That looked very similar to what Gangwish was called out on. However, the home plate umpire did not call it a strike. It was the base umpire who called it the strike. It is strikeout number 6 now for Garcia. And there's 2 away. And that'll bring up Colton Moore. A strikeout and a fly out to center. So everybody is unhappy with Anthony Perez. There's a chopper to third. That is going to be in fair territory. Tough play and a nice dig by Strachan on the one-hop throw from Brandon at third. It's a 1-2-3 sixth. And Garcia may have bought himself another inning. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Larks and BJ's tied at 3 on KAYS. Well, another 1-2-3 inning turned in by Tommy Garcia. It'll be interesting to see whether he comes out to work the 7th. He has used 14 pitches to get his last 6 outs over the last 2 innings. He's at 78. Frank Leo said they were going to go around 70 with him, but his last 2 innings have been effortless. I'm sure he wants to go. It'll be what the Larks allow him to do. 2 days off, and then on to Wellington for 2 on Thursday and Friday. But as we said, really what matters is what you do in your division. You win the Jayhawk West Division, you get the championship week slot. That's why the Larks have put so much into these last couple of games here. Well, they put 9 to the plate in a 3-run 5th. They left them loaded. And the guy who started it with a ground ball to third, Brooke Brannon, will lead it off here in the bottom of the 6th. 3-3 tie. Larks have out hit the BJs 6-4. Brandon 0 for 2 tonight. A couple of ground outs, and he lines the first pitch down the left field line. That's going to be a base hit. Serdashny quickly over there to cut it off. And it holds Brandon to a long single. Boy, Serdashny's been impressive out in left field tonight for Liberal. Larks' 7th hit.
The catcher, number 15. Max McGuire.
Get their leadoff batter aboard for the first time since the 3rd. And the 4th time in 6 innings. Now Max McGuire, the batter. He singled to right his first time up, then led off to 3rd, and then scored the Larks' first run in that 5th inning after reaching on a throwing error. He squares to bunt, and he bunts one down beautifully down the third base line. Williams charges. His only play will be first on the sacrifice bunt from Max McGuire. So the catcher does his job advancing the runner here for 1 out in the 6th inning.
The shortstop, number 4, Jimmy DeLeon.
Jimmy DeLeon, the batter now. Jimmy's 0 for 2, grounding out to 3rd and flying out to center. 3-3 tie. And now we're going to have a pitch runner maybe for the catcher McGuire. Looks like we will. Hernan Yanez will come in and pitch or run. Of course, Yanez can catch. He was the starting catcher last night that moved to second base when Kavanaugh took ill. So Yanez will come in and run. Here Here in the bottom of the 6th, he is now at second base with 1 out. Comes in to run for Brannon. So he's at second. And the first pitch to De Leon is outside. Called a strike. Crowd not happy with that call. It's been a floating zone, to say the least, tonight. It's been moving a little bit. There's the 0-1 pitch, grounded just off the hands of Coach Frank Leo. Nearly a beautiful snag. But the runners don't advance, so no error. No balls and 2 strikes now on De Leon. Larks trying to manufacture a run here in the 6th to take their first lead of the game. They're trying to rally from 3-0 down. Here's the 0-2, breaking ball up. And it's 1-2 to the number 9 hitter, De Leon. Brannon, the leadoff single, moved to second on McGuire's bunt. And now Yanez in for Brannon as the pinch runner at second base, giving him a little bit more speed. 1-2 the count. The pitch, ground ball headed towards short. Shepherdson's only play will be first, and he gets him out in time. And on the play, Yanez to third base, but he's now there with 2 outs. So it's going to take a 2-out base hit here from Drake Angeron to give the Larks the lead. Drake's been aboard twice tonight, singled in the 1st, walked and scored in the 5th, out on a ground ball to second. His 2nd time up in the 4th inning. Three tie. Larks have out hit the BJs 7-4. Reed ready, the right-hander delivers, and it's outside, ball 1. BJ's got 3 in the 3rd. A double, an error. A fielder's choice in which a ground ball to first was thrown home. They could not get it out. It led to another run. Swing and a miss by Angeron. It's 1-1. And the Larks get 3 in the 5th. A 1-out error, and a walk, a single, another walk, and a 2-run single from Strachan. All 3 runs unearned. 1 ball, 1 strike. The pitch. Fouled out of play left side, and now 1-2 to Drake Angeron. Second team, all Jayhawk West at Dodge City Community College. 52 games. He had 71 hits and 57 runs scored. Hit .370. Here's the pitch. Way outside, 2-2. 22 steals, had a 10-game hit streak. He'll be a sophomore at Fort Hays State next season. The 2-2 pitch to Angeron. Off the end of the bat, off the railing in front of the Larks dugout. Protecting that time and stays alive at 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, little flare, foul ground, left field, and a lunging catch by Serdashny, who makes another tremendous play out in left field, this time in foul ground. Serdashny has made a couple of remarkable, more than a couple, a handful of great plays out in left field, and that ends the threat for the Larks. They strand a runner at third. We're through 6. Larks and BJ's tied at 3. You're listening to Hays Larks Baseball on KAYS.
of Texas and Arlington, number 16, Wyatt Divis.
For the Larks, Hernan Yanez, by the way, came in to pinch run. He is now the Larks' third baseman, so he'll replace Brooke Brandon. Yanez got to third but was stranded there. So Wyatt Divis doing his best Willis Reed impersonation. He has been homesick the last two games, was not at batting practice tonight. And as we were sitting down to record our pregame visit with Larks manager Frank Leo, Wyatt Divis called the Larks skipper, said he could go a couple of innings if needed tonight, was feeling better, and here he is. So Wyatt Divis will try to keep the Larks in a 3-3 tie as he'll pitch here in the seventh inning. Garcia, what an outing by him. He goes 6 through 78 pitches. Gave up the 3 runs on 4 hits, striking out a season-high 6. Did not walk a batter in the ball game tonight. And only 2 of the 3 runs are earned for Liberal. So Wyatt Divis making his 7th appearance of the summer. This will be his 3rd in relief. He has a 4-0 record, 1 save, and a 2.67 earned run average. 27 innings of work for Wyatt, 22 hits, 8 runs, they're all earned. He has walked 12 and struck out 33 batters. And a 200 batting average against for Wyatt Divis. He will face the number 8 hitter, Trevor Beard, here to start it off. And his first pitch, a little bit up for a ball, 1-0. Beard 2 for 2, a double and a run scored in the 3rd. He singled to center his last time up. Beard up there from the right side. Looking for his 5th hit of the series as a 2-hopper to 3rd. Yanez has it, clutches, throws a little bit low, but it's scooped out by Strachan, and there's 1 away. How about Hernan Yanez? Started at catcher last night, then moved to second. Came in as a pinch runner, now goes to 3rd. He can play about anywhere on the field, so you can bring him in so many different situations. And he goes to the pitcher's mound and grabs a little rosin to wipe off probably some sweat on his hand. That throw is a little bit low, but good job by Strachan. So 1 out. Now Aiden Shepardson, the number 9 hitter up there. He's been aboard twice, reached on an error, and then on a fielder's choice. Scored in that 3-run BJ 3rd. Takes a strike at the knees, 0-1. Wyatt Divis last pitched on the 24th here against Valley Center. A 5-1 Larks win. That was on Monday night, so exactly 1 week ago. The 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball just missing away, 1-1. Wyatt started that game, picked up his 4th win of the season, went 5 innings, 1 run on 2 hits, struck out 7 while walking 1. Lights are on as the sun sets. There's a pitch fouled back. The count 1-2. Some clouds to the west, shading the sun early, and bat went out of the hands of Shepardson. That's twice tonight. We've seen a BJ lose his bat on a swing. And now the on-deck hitter, Jordan Williamson, comes out with some pine tar, and Shepardson sends him back to the on-deck circle. But not before Williams puts a little more pine tar on his bat. He does not want to be that guy, the 3rd BJ to lose his bat in a swing. Nobody on, 1 out. 1-2 the count to Shepardson. Divis ready. Fastball fouled back again. We'll do it again. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Aiden hitting .316 coming into the ball game tonight. Right-handed pitcher, right-handed hitter. The 1-2 from Divis, fouled away. Breaking ball, and Shepardson with a protective swing there just to foul it off to stay alive. So the count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Shepherdson doing everything he can here to get aboard. 2 for 3 last night. Now 3 for 9 here for the series. The 1-2 pitch flared to right, but that's going to twist and go foul and sail over the BJ's bullpen down the right field line. Not a bad crowd, not quite as many as last night, but the temperature warming up. Crowd's a little bit thinner, especially during the midweek, plus a lot of other activities going on for families. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the number 9 hitter. Shepherdson fouls another one away. So he's really battling here. That is 5 straight foul balls off the bat of Aiden Shepherdson. Trevor Beard grounded to third to open the inning. Now Divis just now climbing back on the mound. Trying to figure out a way to get one by Shepherdson here. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Divis ready. Here's the pitch. A little bit low, and it is a ball, 2-2. Wyatt will be a senior at UT Arlington from Lincoln, Nebraska. Went 3-0 last summer with a 1.17 ERA. All 12 of his appearances were in relief. And the Larks were going to use him as a reliever again this year. There's another pitch fouled away. This will be at least a 10-pitch at-bat here between Divis and Shepherdson. Pitch number 10 here on the way. Divis 7-0 with a career 1.87 ERA and 2 summers in Hays. So he's been a good pitcher and a good hitter. Here comes the 10th pitch of the at-bat. The 2-2 pitch line right at the shortstop, De Leon, who falls down making the catch. A 10-pitch at-bat results in a line-out, and there's 2 away. Well, that was good on a lot of accounts. A good job by De Leon to catch that liner to end the at-bat. But a 10-pitch battle there from Shepherdson, and now the top of the order, and Jordan Williams. Williams has been aboard twice tonight. He walked to open the game in the first and then drove in a run on a fielder's choice to the first baseman, Strachan. Strachan, instead of trying to take the sure out, threw home to try to throw out Beard at the plate. And there's a called strike, 0-1. Beard slid under the tag, and it opened the door for a 3-run inning. Williamson out on a pop-up to second. Now he calls time, and may have had a bug or something fly in his eye as he rubs his face. Now gets back in for the right side. Divis trying to work another 1-2-3 inning. It'll be the 3rd straight for the Larks if he can get this last out. Breaking ball bounces in for a ball, 1-1. The BJs went down in order in the 2nd. Went down in order again in the 5th and the 6th. As Garcia retired the final 7 batters that he faced. Here's the 1-1. Fastball, strike on the outside corner. Now the count 1-2. Hayes Eagles Junior American Legion in action tonight in Salina. They get a sweep of the Salina Hawks to move above 500. There's a swing and a miss. Divis gets the strikeout. And that is now 9 straight retired by the Larks pitchers as Divis coughs coming off the mound as he's recovering from strep throat. But a heck of a job there. 1-2-3 go the BJs. We move to the bottom of the 7th. Stretch time at Larks Park. Hayes and Liberal tied at 3. You're listening to Larks Baseball on KAYS. 7th. Larks come to bat in the bottom of the inning, tied 3-3 here on it's turned out to be a beautiful night at Larks Park. By the way, this day in Larks history, thanks to Randy Gonzalez, one of the new features here at the ballpark. They've been giving some Larks history on every game. But on July 1st, 2002, and that was a stretch of great baseball for the Larks. If you remember back then, 2002, they were on their way to winning their second consecutive Jayhawk League championship and making another deep run at the NBC World Series. I'll give you that here in a minute. First, George Sutherland, the batter, and he takes a called strike, 0-1. A 2002 team finished 9th at the NBC, kind of a disappointing end to their season, but they won a Jayhawk League title, the second consecutive, and just the second in Larks history. There's a chopper off the end of the bat that goes foul, now 0-2 to Sutherland. But on this day in 2002, Rory Thornton coaxing a 1-out walk with the bases loaded. It drove home the winning run as the Larks beat the Elkhart Dusters 4-3 here at Larks Park. Tyler Jones was a reliever. He got the win in that game. Dan Schwartzbauer, one of my all-time favorite Larks. Played here, I believe, 4 seasons. The pitch is up and in. Dan Schwartzbauer had 2 hits, scored a run, stole a couple of bases as the Larks beat Elkhart 4-3 on a bases-loaded walk. All I'm saying, it's 3-3 right now. We're in the bottom of the 7th. We'll see what happens. But could history repeat itself here tonight? There's a pitch fouled away by Sutherland, and the count is 1-2. Justin Lee waits on deck. Sutherland leading it off here in the 7th. Swings and lines it just foul. Under the glove of Beard, but in foul ground down the first base line. The count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes to George Sutherland. Singled and scored in his last at-bat, drove in a run with that base hit to center. Got the Larks on the board at 3-1. He's lined to left, fouled out to left in his first 2 at-bats. So a 2-for-3 night tonight for Sutherland, or excuse me, a 1-for-3 night. He takes one up and in, and now the count evens, 2 balls and 2 strikes. So 1-for-3 tonight for George. 6 for 16 here this weekend. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Jake Reed delivers, and there's a line drive to left. Serdashny back about 5 feet to make the catch. And there's one away. Sutherland hit it hard again. Second line drive out to left, but he's 1 for 4. 1 gone now for Justin Lee. Well, anything hit anywhere near left field, you just assume Serdashny's going to catch it. He's been unbelievable out there tonight. Lee will bat. We're just past 9 o'clock, so we're going to pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Hays Larks Baseball. Nobody on, 1 out, 3-3 here in the bottom of the 7th, and Lee takes a pitch away for a ball. Gerard Welbrock, producer and engineer Rachel Fox. We're at Larks Park in Hays. Final game of this 4-game series between the Larks and Liberal. Final of the 8-game season series. The Larks trail at 4-3 in the series, trying to even it up here tonight in a 3-3 game in the 7th. Breaking ball away, 2-0 the count. BJ's got 3 in the 3rd. The Larks answer with 3, all but 2 outs in the 5th. And all 3 unearned as they battle back to tie it. Here comes the 2-0. Ground ball towards short. Backhanded sliding stop. Shepherdson to his feet. The throw is not in time. And Justin Lee beats it out with the infield single. He's now 1 for 3, and he's been aboard in each of his last 2 plate appearances. Wasn't hit all that hard. It was hit in the hole. Shepherdson did a good job to get to it. Made the sliding snag with the backhand, then quickly got to his feet. But Lee with good speed beats it out, and now he's aboard with 1 out for Alex Strachan. Alex has the big hit tonight. It was the 2-out single to left, which scored Angeron and Sutherland to tie the game in the bottom of the 5th. He has a 3-for-3 night going, and he takes a strike on the outside corner with the slider 0-1. Crowd does not like that call, but a strike nonetheless to stretch it. A single to right in the 2nd, a single to left in the 4th, and then that 2-run single to left in the 5th. Strachan's been red hot since joining the Larks this summer. Takes one in the dirt, gets away from the catcher, and Moore can't find it, and up to second base will go Justin Lee on the wild pitch. It rolled about 4 feet behind Lee. He could not, or behind Moore, he could not see it. And that allowed Lee to easily move into second base. So now a base hit could give the Larks the lead. It's 3-3 here in the 7th. Alex Strachan has hit safely in all 12 games he's played since joining Hays several weeks into the year. Here's the 1-1. This one's going to be high with a fastball, 2-1. Strachan joined the team on the 14th, had a double in his debut against Park City, and he's hit safely in the 11 games since. 2 balls and a strike. The pitch. A fastball at the knees, catching the outside corner, and now it's 2-2. Mikey Gangwish waiting on deck. Larks batting in the home half of the 7th, 3-3 tie, but they've got the go-ahead run at second base with 1 out. 2-2 the count. Here's the pitch. Lee goes for third. The throw, not in time. It's a stolen base, his 14th of the year. He got a great jump off the pitcher, Jake Reed. And now a fly ball could give the Larks the lead. A sacrifice fly. The pitch was a ball. The count is now full, 3-2 to Strachan. Infield comes in for the play at the plate. Here's the 3-2. Ball 4, just missing low. And now the Larks have runners at the corners. That's the first walk given up by, first walk given up by Reed tonight. That's the 4th walk given up by the BJs. McDonald walked 3. The Larks have now walked 14 times in the 4-game series. Mikey Gangwish the batter now. Mikey 0 for 2. He lined to left in the 2nd inning, struck out looking, very controversial called 3rd strike in the 4th, and then walked but was stranded in the 5th. He walked to load the bases after the Larks had already scored 3, but Reed came in and got that final out. Now trying to put the Larks ahead, and he takes a pitch way inside, had to back away from it, ball 1. Jake Reed in relief of Trevor McDonald, who went 4 2/3. Reed, a right-hander, has a couple of saves against the Larks, worked a 1-2-3 ninth in the 5-4 series opening win in Liberal early last week. A couple of weeks ago now, pitch misses in tight for ball 2, 2-0. He then pitched an inning, gave up 2 runs on 4 hits with a strikeout. Or excuse me, that was Ritz. He walked 1 and struck out 2 in a 6-3 win in that series finale in Liberal. There's a ground ball chopped to right. Second baseman Holdren has it, throws to first for the out, but it gets the job done. It'll score Lee from third. So a wild pitch and a stolen base move Lee to third, and he scores on the RBI ground out from Gangwish. RBI number 14, and the Larks have a 4-3 lead. Strachan goes to second on the play.
Number 26, Jared Belbin.
So he did the minimum there, put it in play on the right side. So now a runner at second, 2 outs for Jared Belbin. A walk and a couple of ground outs to first, 0 for 2. Takes a fastball up, 1 ball, 2, no strikes. Belbin's been good out in right field tonight for the Larks. Up there from the left side, facing the right-hander Jake Reed out of Dixie State. We made 11 relief appearances this spring. This one bounces in there for ball 2, 2-0. Actually made 9 appearances last year, did not make any for Dixie State this past spring. Reed's been good here down the stretch, but the Larks have taken the lead. Now a pitch fouled away, out of play left side. 2 balls and a strike. Alex Strachan stands at second. The Larks have scored 1. They lead it 4-3. 2-1 the count. The pitch from Reed. It's a strike. Belbin started to go but pulled the bat back. It catches the outer edge, and it's now 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes. The pitch. Line to left field. It's twisting and dropping in foul territory. So we'll do it again at 2 balls, 2 strikes. BJ's got 3 in the third. Larks got 3 unearned runs in the 5th and now have taken the lead on the Mikey Gangwish ground out. Here in the bottom of the 7th, they lead it 4-3. 2-2 to Belbin as Reed looks on. A long look into his catcher Moore. Now he has the sign. He'll break contact. He just never looked comfortable going through the signs there, and probably did the right thing and just step off and start all over. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The right-hander Reed delivers. And he misses inside for ball 3. Now the count goes full, 3-2 to Belbin. Got the pant legs pulled up just below the knees. The red stirrup socks. Trying to drive in another run here. The Larks have scored 1 to go on top 4-3. Here's the 3-2. Swing and a miss. He could not catch up with the fastball, and the inning is over. But the Larks take the lead on the RBI ground out from Gangwish. We're through 7. Larks 4, BJ's 3. You're listening to Hays Larks Baseball on KAYS. Now the Larks have come back from 3-0 down. They now lead this one 4-3 as we move to the 8th inning. Larks baseball tonight on KAYS, brought to you by Gibbs Auto Supply, your local Napa Auto Parts store with parts, tools, and equipment, and many other items for heavy-duty truck, marine, and farming equipment. 621 East 13th and Hays for Gibbs Auto Supply. Wyatt Divis out to work his 2nd inning. Tommy Garcia went 6, gave up 3, 2 earned on 4 hits, 6 strikeouts, no walks. Divis worked a 1-2-3 7th, and the Larks have retired the last 10 BJ batters. Garcia the last 7, Divis the last 3. Now it's Tristan Stacy, the number 2 hitter, to lead it off here in the 8th. Breaking ball from Divis is a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Stacy 0 for 3 tonight. He's hit a fly ball out to right, a foul ball out to right, and a ground out to short. Here's the 0-1, this time a fastball low, 1 ball, 1 strike. Tristan Stacy out of New Mexico State. He'll be a sophomore. He's from Ramona, California. Stands at the right side, takes a pitch down low, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Stacy, a 409 average, the top hitter by average for the BJs coming into this one tonight. And a couple of guys, him and Jordan Williams, hitting over 400. Here's the 2-1. Fastball from Divis, catching the outside corner, and it's 2-2. Stacy 1 for 5, driving in a run last night. He is now 6 for 13 here in the series. 4th game of the series, 8th and final meeting between the two this summer. Here's the 2-2 from Divis. Fly ball, short right field. Belbin is there. He'll make the catch, and that'll be the first out. So 11 in a row retired by the Larks now. And that'll bring up Connor Emmett.
Right fielder number 9, Connor Emmett.
Emmett 1 for 3, an RBI single, which drove in the 3rd run in that 3-run 3rd inning. He is struck out and popped up to short. So 1 for 3 night for the left-handed hitting Emmett. Bats with nobody on with 1 out here in the 8th. And a pitch grounded sharply to short, gobbled up by De Leon near the bag at second. He throws it over in time, and there's 2 away. So 2 gone here for Liberal in the 8th inning, and now Blake Dickman. 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. No doubt Dickman glad that Garcia has left the game because he struck out twice and he popped up to right field in his 3 at-bats against him. So Dickman bats with the bases empty and 2 outs. Looking for his 4th hit of the series. He's now 3 for 12. The pitch, breaking ball. A ball. Boy, it didn't miss by much. Wow. That looked like a pretty good pitch from here. But it apparently caught too much of the outside edge. 1 ball, no strikes. Same pitch misses. That one looked low. It's called strike. It's 1-1. Easy to umpire from up here. 1 ball and 1 strike to Dickman. Divis trying for his 2nd straight 1-2-3 inning. Swinging a foul ball. That one, I think, went off the chest protector of McGuire. And now the count 1-2. It did as McGuire takes his mask off, kind of shakes it around a little bit and puts it back on. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Blake Dickman. Divis gets the sign, working from the stretch with nobody on. Here's the 1-2, fastball, strike 3 called, he rings him up. A 1-2-3 8th inning. The Larks have retired 13 straight. The last 6 by Wyatt Divis, who again coughs as he makes his way back into the dugout. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Larks 4, BJ's 3. This is Hays Larks baseball on KAYS. The Larks will try to get an insurance run or 2 here as they lead 4-3. Well, how about Wyatt Divis still battling some sickness? He's coughed coming off the mound each time, but he's retired all 6 that he's faced. Larks 3 outs away from taking 3 out of 4 and evening the season series of the BJs at 4 apiece. Hernan Yanez will bat for the first time. He came in as a pinch runner in the 6th inning and has now played 3rd ever since. Brandon went 1 for 3, so Hernan Yanez will bat. 0 for 6 in the series. He has reached on an error and a walk, so he's been aboard twice. He takes a strike, 0-1. So Hernan trying to find a way here. He's just 3 for 19 this season against BJ pitching. He does have a double. 0-1 the count. Jake Reed out to work his 3rd inning. Ball hit off the end of the bat right at the second baseman. Holdren bobbles. Throw to first is not in time. So an error, the 2nd of the game on the BJs. Charged to their second baseman, Holdren, his 9th of the season. And we'll see if that becomes a big error. All 3 of the 4 Larks runs tonight are unearned. All 3 of them in that 5th inning were unearned. And now an error. The ball one hop to Holdren. It was a tailor-made grounder, and he bobbled it getting out of his glove, and he is still visibly upset about that. Now Max McGuire, the catcher, squares to bunt and bunts it just foul down the third base line for strike 1. Max laid down a successful sacrifice bunt in the 6th inning. It moved Brooke Brandon to second. That's when they brought in Yanez to run for him. Hernan got to third, but would not score in that inning. Hernan with pretty good speed over at first base. See if they try to bunt once again. 0-1 the count to McGuire. He scoots up in the box. He squares to bunt, and this one's open in. He had to pull the bat back. The count is 1-1. They were not going to make that easy on him. Almost hit him. They appeal down the base umpire, Matt Weaver, and he said he did not go around. He did not make an attempt at that one. So he tried to pull the bat back. It's the thing when you're bunting, you've got to make an effort at the ball. And McGuire did not. Still a buntable count at 1-1. Now he squares. Here comes the pitch. He gets it down, but it rolls behind the plate and foul. And he's visibly upset missing on that one. Got a little bit too much on top of that one and pounded it straight into the ground, and it rolled backwards. So now the bunt will come off with a, well, more than likely come off with a 1-2 count. We'll see how much Frank Leo trusts the bunting ability of Max McGuire. One would figure the bunt would not be on, and McGuire back in the box a little bit more. Looks like he's going to swing away here. Yanez at first after reaching on the air, the 2nd of the night. There's the pitch. He popped him up. First base side, Beard right on the line, straddles into foul territory to make the catch, and there's one gone. So McGuire couldn't get the sacrifice bunt down. Instead pops out for the first out. Now Jimmy DeLeon 0 for 3 tonight. A ground out to third, a ground out to short, and a fly ball to center. DeLeon now 3 for 13 here in this series with Liberal. And 6 for 28 in the season series with the BJs. So what we're trying to tell you is he's due. Runner at first, 1 out. Jake Reed delivers, and he delivers a strike. Slider on the outside corner, 0-1. BJ scored 3 times in the third. All of them, or 2 of them unearned, or 1 of them I should say was unearned. 1 of them. Larks got 3 unearned in the 5th, and then 1 in the 7th to take the lead. Now trying to add an insurance run in the 8th. Here's the 0-1. DeLeon started to go. He pulls the bat back. It was way outside. And a good job by the catcher, Colton Moore, to go to his right to snag that one and hold Yanez at first base. 4-3 Larks. They've out-hit the BJs 8-4. Liberal with 2 errors, the Larks with 1. Here's the 0-1. Fouled back over by the BJ dugout. Goes off the railing in front of their dugout. And now 1 ball, 2 strikes to Hernan. Scoreboard says 0-2. It is 0-2. Apparently, they said he went around on that ball. Looked like he held his bat back. So it was an 0-2 count. Now he fouls another one. It stays 0-2, so my apologies. Man, the check swing has been an interesting call tonight for Anthony Perez behind home plate. So apparently he went around on that second offering for a strike. He's fouled the last 2 off. The count is 0-2. The pitch to De Leon, strike 3 called. Caught the outside corner, and now there's 2 away. So that's the second strikeout for Jake Reed. And Drake Angeron will now bat. Reed came in with 2 outs in the 5th. Needed 1 pitch to get Jared Belbin the ground out, so he's working now 3 full innings of work. And he'll face Angeron with a runner at first and 2 outs. Right-hander Reed brings it home. Angeron tries to go the opposite way, but lines it foul down the third base side for strike 1. Drake's been aboard twice tonight. A single in the first and a walk in the 5th. He came around to score on the 2-run single from Alex Strachan. He's grounded to second and flied to left. Hits one towards center. Stacy over. He's there to make the catch. And the inning comes to an end. The Larks cannot take advantage of the leadoff walk. Larks 3 outs away from the win as we go to the 9th. Hays 4, BJ's 3. This is Larks Baseball on KAYS. Kitchen, home appliances, bedding, mattresses, home theaters, TVs, and outdoor grills. They're open 7 days a week at 1501 East 27th and A's. And by Next Tech, where you get a great deal on internet, video, voice, and business services from the technology experts at Next Tech. We go to the top of the 9th. Wyatt Divis on the mound for the Larks. He's retired all 6 that he has faced. He'll go up against the 5, 6, and 7 hitters, Shane Serdashny, Brandon Holdren, and Colton Moore. Serdashny does not have a hit tonight, but he's left his mark in this game. He's been outstanding out in left field. He's made several great plays that have taken hits away and saved bases for the Larks. Serdashny has popped up, flied out, and grounded out. First pitch from Divis, fastball high, 1-0. Wyatt struck out 2. The Larks, well, you don't want to jinx it here, but they have not walked a batter tonight through 8 innings. Here's the 1-0 from Divis. Breaking ball low, 2-0. See if Wyatt can battle back here from a 2-0 count to Serdashny. 4-3 Hays. There's a fastball for a called strike, 2-1. Divis has had a couple of ground outs. He had a line out A fly out and the 2 strikeouts in his 6 batters faced. 2-1 now to Serdashny. Another breaking ball. Ooh, boy, you hear the crowd groaning. That one did not miss by much. 3-1. That was the pitch Wyatt wanted right there. A breaking ball that it looked like it may have caught the outside corner, but it's called a ball. So now it's 3-1 to Serdashny. And there's ball 4. Well, there you go. First walk of the game given up by the Larks. A leadoff walk. And boy, what do they say? Leadoff walk, tight games, late innings. See if the Larks can work around it. They have not turned a double play tonight. This would be a pretty good time to turn their first. They have 7 in the series so far. And a couple last night. See if Wyatt can get a ground ball at somebody. That ends a string of 13 straight retired by the Larks. And a breaking ball this time is called a strike, this time on the inside corner. About the same spot as that pitch rolled ball 3. This is a left-handed batter, though, in Brandon Holdren. 1 for 3, single to right in his second at-bat in the 4th. Couple of strikeouts sandwiched around it. 0-1 to Brandon Holdren. Throw to first, a soft throw that way, and back there safely is Serdashny, who was 3 for 4 in stolen bases this summer. BJs have a couple of steals in the game. Emmett and Williams. They are tied for last in steals in the KCLB. Pitch fouled back by Holdren, and it's 0-2. So that walk given up by Divis, the first tonight by the Larks, and only the 5th in the entire series. That has been very, very impressive for the Larks. Only 5 walks in 4 games. Here comes the 0-2 from Divis, a little bit high, and now it's 1-2. Tried to get Holdren to chase it, but he didn't. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the BJ's second baseman, who had that error to lead off the bottom of the 8th, but the BJ's able to work around it and not have it come back and bite him. 4-3 Larks, top of the 9th. Tying run at first with nobody out. A 1 ball, 2 strike counts to Brandon Holdren. Here's the pitch. Fastball bounces, but it goes off the protector of McGuire and stays in front of him. 2-2. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Hays Larks baseball. Now Wyatt Divis walks to the back of the mound, grabs the rosin bag, flops it in his right hand a couple of times, now steps back on top of the hill, toes the rubber, brings home the 2-2 pitch, fly ball, left field, twisting in foul ground. It'll be out of play over by the Larks bullpen. We'll do it again at 2-2. And you wonder about the stamina of Divis. Again, he's been battling strep, was not even with the team the last 2 days, did not come to batting practice tonight. The Larks did not plan to have him available, but then notified Frank Leo after batting practice about an hour and a half before the game that he would be available, and here he is in his 3rd inning of work. Trying to work around a leadoff walk. The 2-2 pitch, breaking ball stays high, 3-2. The bullpen is quiet. It is in Wyatt Divis's hand. Used exclusively as a reliever last year. He's been called on to start more this year. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 1 on, nobody out, top of the 9th. And now time called and granted to Holdren. Larks had a 5-run lead going to the 9th last night. They gave up a couple of runs, held on to win it 7-4. They have a 1-run lead here tonight. Crowd trying to urge on Divis. Here comes the 3-2 pitch to Holdren. It's high ball 4. Now the BJs have 2 on with nobody out. just now starting to head down to the bullpen, although nobody warming up. Keith Harper's going to walk out onto the mound. He'll make the slow trek out, and they're just now beginning to throw in the bullpen. So this is more than likely just a pep talk for Divis. They just now begin to throw down in the bullpen. Can't quite tell who that is. Looks like it might be Rustin Hays starting to warm up. So Keith Harper talking to Divis and the catcher, Max McGuire. So the BJs with back-to-back walks after the Larks failed to walk anyone, did not walk a batter in the first 8 innings. Back-to-back walks here to open up the 9th. And now the right side of the infield, second baseman Justin Lee and first baseman Alex Strachan. And now the rest of the infield's going to come here and gather around Keith Harper for a discussion here. Larks baseball tonight brought to you by Steel Fabrications, the Iron Men of Western Kansas on East Highway 40 Bypass at Hays, and by M&D Excavating, serving you since 1979. So the meeting breaks up. BJs have the tying run at second, the go-ahead run at first. Nobody out, top of the 9th inning. And the catcher, Colton Moore, batting. Moore 0 for 3. A strikeout, a fly out to center, and a ground out to third. The Larks would love a ball at somebody. They're in at the corners, the middle infield, a double play depth. They're expecting the bunt. The Larks will charge it, and it's bunted foul over as it one hops the railing on their dugout. Strachan just kept running. He was about 15 feet from home plate when the ball arrived at home plate and was bunted foul. If they bunt it to him, if he's that close, they'll get the runner at third. So again, in at the corner, Strachan way in on the infield. A show bunt. Strachan continues to run up that line. Here's the pitch from Divis. Fastball low. It's 1-1. The Larks patrons unhappy with that pitch. Called a ball, but it looked low. 1 ball, 1 strike to Moore. 2 on, nobody out. Top of the 9th. Larks up a run, 4-3. Divis ready. He shows bunt. It's bunted into the air and foul, and now it's 1-2. So Moore unsuccessful on 2 bunt tries, and now we'll see what Eric Olmstead does. 2 coaches that go head-to-head in Western Athletic Conference play. Eric Olmstead and Frank Leo doing it here in the summer. Will they leave the bunt on with 2 strikes? We will see. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Moore. Runners at first and second with nobody out. Larks into the corners once again. Divis ready. A look to second. Another look to second. Here's the 1-2 pitch. It is over but low. 2-2, and you hear what the crowd thought of that. That looked like a beautiful pitch. It was definitely over, but apparently a little bit too low. 2-2 now, and Divis, man, he wanted that one, you can tell. He's starting to feel he's been squeezed here a little bit in this inning. 2 balls, 2 strikes. They set up on the outside edge. The pitch popped him up. Short center, could be trouble. Angeron charging and can't make the lunging catch. And everybody's safe and the bases will be loaded. A little bloop single. Everybody chasing and nobody could get to it. Angeron tried to make the leaping catch and it went off his glove. And now the BJs have them loaded with nobody out for Trevor Beard. Well, and you know Divis thought he had that 3rd strike. Didn't get the call, and then the next pitch is blooped into short center field. So a big-time jam right here, and here comes Keith Harper out of the dugout, and that's going to do it for the Larks. A little surprised that nobody was warming up to start the inning. I know that Divis had been pitching well, but the fact that he is coming off a strep throat, kind of surprised that he did not have anybody warming up. But they are going to go to the pen right now. We'll have a pitching change, and we'll tell you about it when we return. It's going to be Marufo back into pitch. That's who was warming up down at the bullpen. He pitched last night. He's going to try to close it out here tonight. They bring in Marufo. We'll take a 1-minute break. Be back with a pitching change. You're listening to Larks Baseball.
Hey, Larks fans, Wyatt Divis. Now pitching for the Larks from the University of New Mexico, number 25, Drew Marufo.
Well, Drew Marufo is going to try to work out of a big-time jam here in the top of the 9th inning. The Liberal BJs have the bases loaded with nobody out. 2 walks and a bloop single to center have the bases loaded for Drew Marufo. He will come in and pitch for the 2nd consecutive night. The redshirt freshman from New Mexico, from Santa Teresa, New Mexico, pitched 2 innings in relief last night. Couple of runs, 3 hits, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. He picked up the save, and he will try to get the Larks out of a jam here. They're in at the corners. Bases are loaded, nobody out. Larks leading 4-3 in the top of the 9th. Trevor Beard, who's doubled and singled, is up there now, and he takes a fastball inside for ball 1. The double and the single came against starter Tommy Garcia. He was the first batter to face Divis, and he grounded to third. Larks would love a ground ball to third and give them a chance to throw the lead runner out of the plate. 2 walks and a bloop single, and the BJs have him loaded here in the top of the 9th. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss. He got him to chase a slider away, and the count is 1-1. Marufo has struck out 8 and walked 1 this summer. The 1 walk came last night. He walked 3 in his 2 innings of work. Got into a little bit of a jam in the 9th inning, but worked himself out of it. Here's the 1-1. Line foul and out of play of the right field side. It's now 1-2. Aiden Shepherdson waits on deck. Then the top of the order, and Jordan Williams. Larks were down 3-0 after 2.5. They tied it with 3 in the 5th, took the lead with a run in the 7th. But the BJs threatening in the 9th. Bases loaded, nobody out. Marufo trying to get the first batter he faces out. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch. Fastball. Strike 3 called. He rung him up. Beard can't believe it. He squats down, says something to the home plate umpire, now makes a slow walk back to the dugout. Neither team has been happy at all with the strike zone tonight. Take that for what you will, but neither side has been happy with the zone of home plate umpire Anthony Perez. Big strike out there. There's 1 away. Now the infield back to its normal depth, and they'll try to get a double play here. Number 9 hitter Aiden Shepherdson up there, reached on an air and scored in the 3rd. Now catcher Max McGuire will call time, and he'll make the walk out to the mound to make sure that he and Marufo are on the same page. Shepherdson walked and reached an air and scored in the 3rd, then reached on a fielder's choice in the 4th. Against Divis in the 7th, he lined it to the shortstop. He had a 10-pitch at-bat in his last at-bat and lined it hard to the Larks shortstop, Jimmy DeLeon. 4-3 Larks. Bases loaded, now 1 away in the top of the 9th. Shepherdson up there from the right side, stands in the front of the box. Marufo ready. The first delivery, fastball, fouled back and out of play. Strike 1 to Shepherdson. Well, what a game. You figured it would be tonight. This is so important for both of these teams. The Larks trying to build a 2-game lead in the Jayhawk West Division of the KCLB. The BJs trying to tie it. A win would tie the season series at 4 apiece. Here's the 0-1 from Marufo. Fastball bounces in there, 1-1. And he kind of did that last night. He tried to overthrow the fastball, and he bounced him in front of the plate. Good job there by McGuire to keep it in front of him. Sometimes you need to throw easier, and you get better results. That could be one of these times for Marufo. Stay within yourself. 1-1 now to Shepherdson. Bases loaded, 1 out. Fastball, fly ball, headed toward right center. Belbin is under it. He'll make the catch. Runner tags from third. The throw is not in time, and the BJs have tied it on the sacrifice fly from Shepherdson. His 19th run driven in. It scores Serdashny, and it's a 4-4 tie here in the top of the 9th inning. Holdren holds at second. Moore holds at first, and there's 2 away.
Top of the batting one is a short correction. The third baseman, number 2, Jordan Williams.
Jordan Williams will bat now. A walk and a fielder's choice in his first 2 times up to reach. He has popped up to second and struck out since. So 1 for 3 tonight. Actually 0 for 3 tonight. Has been aboard twice. Well, now you just want to get the batter. Base hit gives the BJs the lead in all likelihood. First and second with 2 away. Fly ball, right side. That's going to be out of play. Strike 1 to Williams. Now the BJs take advantage of the back-to-back walks. Their first 2 walks of the game. And they come around to score on the sacrifice fly from Shepherdson to tie it. In the bottom of the inning, Sutherland, Lee, and Strachan, 2, 3, and 4 for the Larks. They're hoping to be in a tie game. Here's the 0-1. Fastball, check swing, he ran around. It's 0-2. Marufo needs one more well-placed pitch to get out of the jam. He came into it with the bases loaded, nobody out. Now there's 2 on with 2 outs, but a run is scored. Here's the 0-2. Did he go around? He did not. The Larks fans wanted that. As we said, the check swing has been an interesting call tonight. There's been several that looked like they did not go around that were. That one was close. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Williams. Marufo coming off that lat injury, 2 innings last night, trying to work a 9th inning here. Brings home the pitch. Strike 3 called. He got him with a slider on the inside corner. Marufo gives up the run on the sacrifice, but the Larks with a chance as they come to bat at the bottom of the 9th. 4-4 our score. The Larks try to win it with a walk-off. We'll be back for the bottom of the 9th after this timeout. You're listening to Larks Baseball on KYS. The ninth inning for the BJs, who score a run on a sacrifice fly to tie it to the top of the ninth inning. Goodrich, the freshman right-hander from South Mountain Community College in Arizona, has made 3 relief appearances against the Larks this summer, and he has not given up a run. He pitched 2 innings of relief in their 11-1 win here on Saturday night. Gave up a hit but no runs. He pitched 2 innings of relief in the series finale in Liberal. No runs on a hit with a couple of strikeouts. And then he pitched 2 innings of relief in a 5-4 win in the series opener in Liberal. That was back on the 17th. So 2 weeks ago tonight. So he's been tough against the Larks. Goodrich making his 8th appearance of the summer. They're all in relief, a 2-0 record, a 2.08 earned run average, 13 innings, 12 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned, 4 walks, 17 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .255 against Goodrich. Larks will have the 2, 3, and 4 hitters, Sutherland, Lee, and Strachan. Reed goes 3 1/3 for the BJs. Couple of hits. Gives up the 1 run. Struck out 2. And the first pitch to Sutherland fouled high into the air and out of play left side for strike 1. Reed walked 1, throwing 52 pitches in 3 1/3 innings. So Trey Goodrich trying to send it to extras tonight. 0-1 to Sutherland. Off speed pitch, grounded sharply, but right at the shortstop, Shepherdson. Throw in time, 1 away. Well, the longer this game goes, you worry about the Larks pitching just because of the sheer lack of numbers. Divis done. Marufo coming off a 2-inning outing last night. You got to figure he's done. However, there is nobody warming up in the bullpen, so Marufo, who only needed 11 pitches, will probably come out and work the 10th if the Larks do not get it tied. Rustin Hays says he's available for a couple of innings if needed. We shall see. Nobody on, 1 out. Now Justin Lee, the batter. And he takes ball 1 away, 1-0. Lee grounded into an inning-ending double play in the first. He then struck out in the 4th, but since a walk and an infield single. And he flies 1 out of play along the right side, 1-1.
Everybody clap your hands.
We are in the bottom of the 9th. Tied at 4. The Larks have out-hit the BJs 8-5. Larks had a walk-off win here against Valley Center. There's a check swing on a pitch that misses low, and the count is 2-1. Trying for their second walk-off win of the week. Fastball is up, 3-1. The walk-off win was here on Tuesday night. So I guess we are on a Monday, a rare 4-game series. We're creeping into Monday, so that was last week. There's a called strike as Lee takes it. It's 3-2. Sutherland grounded out to short for out number 1. Now Lee trying to get aboard with 1 out in the bottom of the 9th and a 4-4 tie. Goodrich, the third pitcher of the night, brings it home, and it's fouled out of play along the right side. We'll do it again at 3-2. So Lee is 1 for 3 in this one tonight. Makes him 3 for 10 in the series and 7 for 20 against the BJs this summer. And now time called and granted to Lee. Alex Strachan waits on deck. Lee has 1 home run this year. He's driven in 29. .414 average coming in. Swings and misses at a fastball, and he goes down on strikes. So Goodrich battles back from 3-1 to get a strikeout. And now 2 away for Alex Strachan. Alex 3 for 3 with a walk, so he's been aboard 4 times tonight. Tied the game with a 2-run single in the 5th. And walked his last time up. 4-4 tie. We are in the bottom of the 9th. BJ's got 1 at the top of the inning to tie it. Off speed pitch and stretch it way out in front of it for strike 1. So that time Goodrich pulled the string on him. He's got a good fastball. The flowing dark hair out of the back of his cap. Trey Goodrich brings home a slider from a little side arm slot that bounces in for a ball. 1-1. .4-4 tie. Larks have out hit the BJs 8-5. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss. Now 1-2. Took a little bit off that one. Larks got 3 in the 5th, but they had the bases loaded with 2 outs. That's when Reed came in and got Belbin to ground to first to end the inning. They had a big inning, but it could have been worse. Now it's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Strachan. The pitch from Goodrich way outside. He did not bite, and the count evens 2-2. Outfield straight away. The third baseman Williams hugging the line, trying to prevent an extra base hit. The 2-2 pitch, chopped it first base side to go foul. We'll do it again at 2-2. Beard now hugging the line at first as well. So they're trying to prevent anything from getting down the line for extra bases. Outfield deep at the corners. Center fielder Stacy at normal depth. Of course, it's a spacious center field here at Larks Park. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Strachan. Goodrich is ready. Here's the pitch. Fouled off. He just got a piece of it to foul it back to the screen. We'll do it again at 2-2. Mikey Gangwish will retrieve the foul ball back near the backstop. He waits on deck. Larks have only lost twice at home this summer, once to the BJs here on Saturday night. 2-2 to count to Strachan. The pitch from Goodrich. Misses low. It's gobbled up by the catcher as it bounces in behind the plate. And now the count full, 3-2 to Strachan. 4-4, bottom of the 9th. Goodrich is the 3rd BJ pitcher tonight. 3-2. The pitch. Fouled back again. Good battle here between Goodrich and Alex Strachan. So we'll do it again. Alex has fouled off 3 in a row, or 3 out of 4. And they hug the lines on the corners. 4-4 tie, bottom of the 9th. 3-2 the count. Here's the pitch. Strike 3 called. Strachan goes down looking, and he's not happy with that called 3rd strike. So a 9-pitch at bat ends in a strikeout. Goodrich strikes out the final 2. The Larks go in order in the 9th. We'll go to extra innings. Tied at 4 at Larks Park. This is Hays Larks Baseball. Now the Larks playing their second extra inning game of the summer. They are 1-0. This is their first extra inning affair since their third game of the summer here at home against Dodge City back on June 2nd. They rallied to beat the A's 9-8. Rustin Hays got that win in relief. Will he be a part of the proceedings here today? Well, we'll see. Drew Marufo, who came in and got a strikeout, 2 strikeouts, but gave up the sacrifice fly, which allowed Serdachny to score from third to tie it. Out to work to 10th. He'll face Tristan Stacy, and he hit him. Stacy was squaring to bunt, and the pitch hit him on the shoulder. So a hit by pitch for the BJs, and that is their third free pass in the last 2 innings. And then it went off the arm of the catcher, Max McGuire. So the Larks had not given up any free passes through 8. They walked 2 in the 9th, and now a leadoff hit by pitch to start the 10th. And that'll bring up Connor Emmert, the number 3 hitter. He's 1 for 4 tonight. RBI single in the 3rd. In fact, he drove in the 3rd run of that 3-run inning. A strikeout, a pop up to short, and a ground out to short. Soft toss to first, and back safely is Stacy, who's a perfect 4 for 4 in stolen bases. The BJs have 2 tonight. They have only 17 steals all year. See if they try to send Stacy. McGuire has thrown out 3 of 10 would-be base stealers. Now they got him picked off, and they said he got around the tag. Marufo can't believe it. He backs off the backside of the rubber. He thought he nailed a strike. They caught him leaning, but Stacy, they said, got his left arm around the tag at first base. Oh. Marufo ready. First offering to Emmett. Fastball away, 1-0. They're throwing in the bullpen. We would guess it would be Rustin Hays. We're unable to see it right now. Now, slider misses inside. 2-0 to Emmett. Well, the Larks pitching had been so good tonight, but they're pitching on fumes right now and trying to find a way to gut through this in a 4-4 tie in the top of the 10th. Larks were down 3-0, battled back to tie it, took a 4-3 lead in the 7th, but the BJs tie it on a sac fly in the 9th. Now 1-1, throw to first, runner back. We're right past the 10 o'clock hour, so again, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You are listening to Hays Larks Baseball. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Ground ball sharply hit to second. They'll go to second for 1. Throw to first. It's a double play. The 8th in the series for the Larks. Their 43rd of the summer. And now the bases are empty with 2 away. 4-6-3 lead a De Leon to Strachan. Nobody on, 2 outs. That was not an easy double play ball for Lee to handle, but he did an outstanding job to gather it in and give De Leon a chance, and he just did throw out Emmett. So nobody on, 2 away for Blake Dickman, who has struck out 3 times tonight. Popped up to right in his other at-bat. He's 0 for 4. And a pitch bounces off the helmet of the catcher, McGuire, over to the BJ, I think into the BJ dugout for ball 1. McGuire checking with the eye. I think it went off of his helmet. He turned around to talk to the home plate umpire. Ricocheted off of something and veered off to the right and into the BJ dugout. 1-0 to Dickman. Nobody on, 2 outs here in the 10th. Big double play ball. Each team has had at least 1 tonight. Fastball down low. Again, that time it looked like Marufo tried to overthrow that fastball, and it bounces near the plate. Larks have out hit the BJs 8-5, but the score is tied at 4. BJs 2 errors, Larks with 1. Another fastball low. And now 3-0 to Dickman with Serdashny waiting on deck. Larks trying for win number 21 tonight. More importantly, trying to go to 8-4 in Jayhawk West Division play, which would give them a 2-game lead over these very BJs. Here's the 3-0. Strike called on the outside corner, 3-1. Dickman 4 doubles and 1 home run this summer. Right-handed pitcher, right-handed batter. Dickman out of San Joaquin Delta. Here's the 3-1, hits it to center field. Angeron going back, it's over his head. That's going to go up against the wall. Around first, headed for second is Dickman with his 5th double of the year, a 2-out double. And man, how big is that double play now? The BJs have the go-ahead run at second, but 2 outs. That ball was hit well. And Angeron, even with all of that speed, unable to run it down, and went over his head and went off the fence. And now to bring up Shane Serdashny. So a double, the 2nd extra base hit of the night for the BJs, and they've got the go-ahead run in scoring position for Serdashny, who is 0 for 3 with a walk. He scored the tying run of the 9th inning on the sacrifice fly from Shepherdson, and he takes strike 1 here, 0-1. 6 hits now for the BJs. They're trying to string together number 7 here to take the lead. Marufo from the stretch. Here's the 0-1. Fly ball, short center field. Angeron can't get there, and it advances away from him, and it's going to score a run. Angeron was not going to be able to catch it, and then he tried to barehand it off the bounce, and it kind of ricocheted to his right. And it's an RBI single for Serdashny. And the BJs have come back with a run in the 9th and now 1 in the 10th and lead it 5-4. Boy, the Larks 3 outs away from the win, now down 5-4 in the 10th. And Brandon Holdren, the batter. Fastball is up, 1-0. The outfield, while it is green and looks nice, rather choppy in spots, and that ball did not take a true bounce to Angeron. He tried to barehand it and it went off his hand. Fort Hays season, we saw any of those one-hoppers were adventures to field before the Bermuda grass greened up. Outfield could use an overhaul, but have to worry about that at a later date. 1 ball, no strikes. Runner starts to go. Pitch is in there for a called strike. Now 1-1 to Holdren. Larks are now trailing 5-4. They came back from 3-0 down. Eventually took the lead in the 7th and were 3 outs away from the win. But give Liberal credit. They rallied with 1 in the 9th and now 1 here in the 10th. All of this coming late. Pitch way outside for ball 2, 2-1. Well, you got to figure this might be the last batter for Marufo tonight. Pitched 2 innings last night in his 2nd inning of work tonight. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Outside, 3-1. Frank Leo up against the railing, looking down at the bullpen. Chatting with pitching coach Keith Harper. Sits at the end of the dugout. Three balls and a strike to Serdashny. And there's a called strike. Came with a slider that catches the inside edge, and now it's 3-2. I think Holdren thought that was ball 4. He's kind of regathering himself now at home plate. As we've said, neither side has been happy with the strike zone from Anthony Perez. 3 balls, 2 strikes to the second baseman, Holdren. Marufo ready, brings it home, high pop-up. Shortstop side, De Leon in short left field calling for it. He's under it, he'll make the catch, and the inning comes to an end, but the BJs put together a 2-out rally to score a run. We go to the bottom of the 10th. The Larks now trail at 5-4. You're listening to Larks Baseball on KAYS. Well, the Larks were 3 outs away from the win. Now they need a rally. As they come to bat in the bottom of the 10th inning, they trail the BJs 5-4. Liberal led 3-0 after 2.5. Larks tied it in the bottom of the 5th, took the lead in the 7th, but Liberal scores 1 in the 9th. And then with nobody on and 2 outs in the 10th, Dickman doubles to center. Then Serdashny, a little soft blooper into short center field. Scored Dickman. And the BJs are up 5-4. It'll be Gangwish, Belbin, and Yanez. 5, 6, and 7 facing Trey Goodrich, who's been very, very difficult against the Larks this summer. Goodrich is in his 4th relief appearance, and he has yet to allow a run. The first pitch is skied back a mile and out of play. Strike 1 to Gangwish. Mikey drove in a run on a ground out to second. That gave the Larks a 4-3 lead with 1 out in the 7th. He walked in the 5th, struck out and lined out before that. So he is 0 for 3, but has driven in a run. Now 14 RBIs for Gangwish. Up there from the left side. Slightly open stance facing Goodrich, who offers away for a ball, 1-1. Larks off the next 2 nights. Then on the road for 4 straight and 5 of the next 6 starting Thursday in Wellington. They have 4 more division games with Dodge City starting on Tuesday the 9th. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Gangwish swings and misses at the fastball. It's 1-2. The BJs playing the final game of a stretch that has them 6 of 8 on the road, and right now looking to go 5 and 3 in that stretch. They close with 10 of their last 12 at home. And they'll have 4 with the Athletics as well. Here's the 2-1 off speed, stays away. 2-2 now the count. Scoreboard says 3-1. It is 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Gangwish. Leading it off for the Larks in the bottom of the 10th, and they need a run to keep it going. 2 would win it. The pitch from Goodrich. Ground ball to first, but it's foul. So we'll do it again. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Mikey, the former ore digger from Colorado School of Mines, one of their most decorated baseball players ever. Under Coach Jared Goodale, he hit 46 home runs, a school record. Drove in 186, a school record. Second in the history of the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference for home runs, and top 10 for career RBI. So not only was he one of the best for the Ore Diggers, one of the best ever in the RMAC. 2-2 pitch, line to right, but right at Emmett. He could not hit that any harder and on the screws anymore, but it's right at the right fielder for out number 1. Liberals had 2 or 3 soft bloopers, and right now what looks to be the game-winning RBI, unless the Larks come back, was a little soft blooper in the center. They took advantage of that in the 3-run 3rd inning. That ball from Gangwish was hit on the nose, but right at the right fielder Emmett. So 1 away now, and Jared Belbin, the batter. He's 0 for 3 with a walk. Belbin takes a fastball away, 1-0. Belbin struck out his last time up. Couple of ground outs to first after that walk in the second inning. Nobody on, 1 out. Larks down a run here in the 10th. There's a line drive just over the glove of the shortstop and into center field. So Belbin aboard with 1 out. And the Larks get the tying run on base with their 9th hit of the night. And that'll bring up Hernan Yanez. Reached on an air in his only plate appearance tonight. He entered as a pinch runner in the 6th inning for third baseman Brooke Brannon. Been playing third ever since. So Belbin, who has 8 stolen bases at first base, we'll see if the Larks try to send him here. Not a real big lead. Pitch is high for ball 1. The Larks have 1 stolen base tonight. It was Lee. They have 65 on the year, which leads the KCLB. 1-0 to Yanez, now low for 2-0. Catcher Max McGuire waiting on deck. Larks need a run. They're down 5-4 here in the bottom of the 10th. Playing in their 2nd extra inning game of the year. They beat Dodge City in game 3. There's a fastball, called strike on the outside corner, 2-1. Two balls, 1 strike to the Larks' third baseman, Yanez. Belbin a modest lead at first. Here's the pitch from Goodrich into the hands. He jammed him and fouls it back to the screen. Now an even 2-ball, 2-strike count to Hernan Yanez. Cochise College sophomore to be out of San Luis, Arizona. He drove in the tying run of the 6th inning in game 1 against Liberal in their place 2 weeks ago. Here's the 2-2. It's high for ball 3, 3-2. Yanez had his 7-game hit streak snapped here 1 week ago against Valley Center. He's 0 for his last 7. Pats with a runner at first and 1 out. The pitch, line foul down the left field side. And the count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes to Yanez. Max McGuire on deck. BJs have turned 2 double plays tonight. A third would end it. They're 2nd in the KCLB in double plays this summer. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Goodrich delivers, jammed him, and he rolls it foul again down the third base side. So that's 3 foul balls in the at-bat for Hernan, and he's still alive at 3-2. Good battle here between Goodrich and Yanez. Goodrich now walks behind the rubber, walks all the way out into the turf behind the mound, now makes his way back to the top of the hill. Gets that right foot even with the rubber. Looks in for the sign from Colton Moore. The 3-2 pitch to Hernan Yanez. Line to left field. That's in for a base hit. Around second. Headed for third is Brannon. A throw. He's going to be safe. He slid around the tag. Williams can't believe it. Sir Dashnian left can't believe it. And here comes Eric Olmstead out of the dugout. And he can't believe it. A late call from the base umpire, Matt Weaver. Belbin slides around the tag. The ball was there in plenty of time. A huge call, and the Larks have runners at the corners with 1 out. So Yanez singles. He's at first. He represents the winning run. Now Max McGuire bats. And catcher Colton Moore is going to come out and talk to the pitcher, Trey Goodrich, and try to calm him down. The pitching coach has got to come out as well. Eric Olmsted's going to walk out. He's still off. He's not in the diamond. He's talking with the home plate umpire, and I think home plate umpire Anthony Perez was telling him to go to the dugout, but I think there's going to be a change here. He's not on the field of play. He's standing just outside the first base line. Wow, a lot of development here. The solid single to left. The throw from Serdashny was in time. Belbin, you can see, tried to slide around to his right. And it was a late call for the base umpire, Matt Weaver, who called him safe. From our angle here in the booth, it was hard to tell. It was close. He made a great effort without getting out of the baseline to avoid the tag, and they said he did. So now there's runners at the corners, one out. McGuire at minimum he's going to show bunt. He bunts it into the air, and it's caught by the catcher. Throw to first, not in time. Oh, they tried the safety squeeze, and McGuire pops up, and there's two away. Now there's two gone. That was interesting. Sac fly would have tied it. Maybe anything to the right side would have given him a chance. They tried to bunt it that way, and he bunted it up into the air. Boy, McGuire had a sacrifice bunt earlier in the game. The Larks had a couple of poor decisions in the field early in this one that cost him in that 3-run third, and that's one they'll be talking about for a while. First and third now with two outs. It's up to Jimmy DeLeon, who's 0 for 4 tonight. Couple of ground outs, a fly out and a strikeout. The pitch is a breaking ball in there for a called strike, 0-1. One out single by Belbin. He moved to third on the Yanez base hit. But now the Larks are down to their final two strikes, trailing 5-4 in the bottom of the 10th. With runners at first and third. The 0-1 from Goodrich in the turf. Good scoop and smother by Colton Moore. 1 ball, 1 strike. Top of the order, Drake Angeron waiting on deck. Should DeLeon find a way here to get on base or tie it up with a base hit? 1 ball, 1 strike. The pitch in the dirt, gets away, but not far enough to advance the runner from third. However, Yanez is able to move to second, so a base hit could win it right here. It's 2 balls and a strike. Moore got just enough of his glove on that to prevent it from rolling any further than it did, about 10 to 12 feet to his right. Nowhere near enough for Belbin to score from third. So now it's second and third with 2 outs. 2 balls, 1 strike to Jimmy DeLeon. Larks down a run on the 10th. The pitch. Fastball high, 3-1. A walk would load the bases. Controversial safe call at third, giving the Larks a chance here in the 9th, or in the 10th. 3-1 to DeLeon. He's not been aboard in 4 at-bats tonight. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. He went after the fastball. It's 3-2. He asked the home plate umpire if that was a strike, and Anthony Perez says yes. Well, it comes down to this. 3 balls, 2 strikes to DeLeon. Tying run at third, winning run at second. 2 outs in the 10th. The 3-2 pitch from Goodrich. Off speed, it's high, it's ball 4, and the Larks have the bases loaded. First walk given up by Goodrich tonight. That is the 5th walk of the game for Liberal, and the 15th for the Larks this series. Well, here's Drake Angeron. He kind of bobbled that single, that little floating single in the center, which allowed the go-ahead run to score. He's been aboard once in 5 plate appearances. Swings and misses through a fastball, strike 1. He walked and scored in the 3-run 5th. He did single in the first, so he's actually been aboard twice tonight, a 1 for 4 night. Needs to find a way to get a base hit here to possibly tie or win it. Here's the 0-1, and he swings and misses. That one was coming up and in on him, and now Drake down 0-2. both up and in on Angeron. Now he's got to protect. Down 0-2. Larks down 5-4 here in the bottom of the 10th. They have the bases loaded with 2 outs. Angeron open stance from the left side. Out on a fly ball to center his last time up. Goodrich with the 0-2 pitch. Outside. Angeron didn't bite. 1-2 now to Drake. 1 year at Dodge City Community College. He'll be a Fort Hays State Tiger next season out of Morgan City, Louisiana. Trying to be the hero tonight, but down 1-2. The pitch from Goodrich. Little pop up back over the seats and out of play. Angeron got just enough of that to stay alive. It's 1-2. Larks trying for some 10th inning magic here at home. They were up 4-3, 3 outs away from the win. Gave up a run in the 9th and 1 in the 10th. Now down 5-4, but have the bases loaded with 2 outs. 1-2 to Angeron. The pitch, did it hit him? It barely missed him. Wow. If that hits him, the Larks have it tied. Now it's 2-2 to Angeron. Goodrich looks in, gets the sign from Colton Moore. And now Angeron calls time and is granted. He steps out of the box. Now digs back in. Belbin at third. Yanez at second. De Leon at first with 2 outs. The 2-2 pitch. Upstairs, ball 3. The Larks have 2 hits in the inning. Goodrich has walked 1 and nowhere to put him. So it comes down to this. 3-2, 2 outs, bases loaded, bottom of the 10th. Larks down a run. Goodrich ready. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He strikes Angeron out. The Larks leave the bases loaded, and the Liberal BJs rally with a run in the 9th and a run in the 10th and beat the Larks 5-4. So they split the 2-game series here at Larks Park. The BJs win the season series with Hays 5-3, and each have 4 games left in KCLB Jayhawk West Division play, and those 4 will decide who wins the division as they are tied for first place with the BJ win. Liberal wins it 5-4. Our post-game show is next. You're listening to Larks Baseball. come up short to the Liberal BJs, 5-4. And boy, this is one the Larks are going to be thinking about the next 2 days as they enjoy a couple of off days. They were 3 outs away from the win. 3 outs away from grabbing a 2-game lead in the KCLB Jayhawk West Division. 3 outs away from splitting their series with the BJs this year at 4-4. But give Liberal credit, they found a way, a leadoff walk, and the Larks did not walk a single batter through the first 8 innings tonight. But Wyatt Divis, who was coming off strep throat, still battling it every time he came off the mound in his couple of innings of work, was coughing. He got back-to-back leadoff walks to Serdashny and Holdren, and then more little bloop single to center, loaded the bases. That's when they went to Marufo, who struck out Beard. And then with a 1-out, Aiden Shepherdson hit a fly ball to right field. That was deep enough to score Serdashny with a tying run. Williams then struck out to end the 9th inning, but the BJs had tied the game up at 4. The Larks went down in order in the 9th against Goodrich. Then in the 10th inning, Drew Marufo hit Tristan Stacy, but then came back and got Connor Emmett to ground into a 4-6-3 double play. But with 2 outs, Blake Dickman on a 3-1 pitch doubled to center field. And then Shane Serdashny hit a little blooper into short center in front of Drake Angeron, who kind of bobbled it off the bounce. He tried to barehand it to make the quick throw home, but he never even had a throw home. That scored Dickman. The BJs had the lead. And then in the 9th, after Gangwish hit it on the screws, but right at the right fielder, Belbin singled, Yanez singled, and after a pop-up, De Leon walked, but a strikeout of Angeron to end it as the BJs get the victory here tonight in 10, 5-4 over the Hays Larks. Manager Frank Leo was here. We're going to take a quick break for 10 seconds for station identification. We'll get his thoughts. And the Larks' tough luck loss tonight. Back in 10 seconds. We'll pause for identification. This is Larks Baseball. (5-4) BJs win it tonight in 10 innings over the Larks, joined now by manager Frank Leo. And also close, 3 outs away from getting out of it. But give Liberal credit, they had some big-time plays down the stretch to come back and win it. This was going to sting for a while.
Yeah, it is going to sting, Gerard. I made the decision to stay with Wyatt in the 9th. He looked really good in the 8th. And you just can't walk the first 2 guys. And then you get a guy trying to bunt. You get him down to 1-2. You make a good pitch, and he bloops it in for a base hit. Just a tough luck right there. But, the 2 walks hurt. Felt like Wyatt had a good 8th inning and can come out and get the 9th for us. The way he competes, it didn't happen. Hindsight's, you have Marufo out there, and probably should have went with Marufo in the 9th. But, you can't bring that one back.
Yeah, and it's kind of unfortunate because you had not walked anybody through 8. Up until that point, your pitchers had been really, really good.
Yeah, it was I would have never thought Wyatt would do that. I mean, he wasn't close on the first hitter, and maybe, we should have made a change after the first hitter. But, he lost it quick. And, credit to them. They got the big sac fly when they needed it.
Had a chance there in the 10th inning. Your guys were patient, had some really good at-bats. Gangwish can't hit it any harder, and that's kind of how it goes. Liberal had a couple little bloopers to center that led to some runs tonight. Gangwish hits it as hard as you can hit it right at their right fielder. That's what I think makes this one frustrating. Serdashny out in left field made a couple of great plays to rob base hits from you. Seemed like you had a good approach at the plate and did a pretty good job. Just hit a lot of balls right at him tonight, especially in that 10th inning.
Yeah, and that's the thing about baseball. It doesn't matter how hard you hit it sometimes. It's where you hit it. Their base hit after the 2 walks in the 9th, just a soft hit that was just out of the reach of everybody. Mikey's ball, if he gets a little lift on that, it's probably out of the yard. He hit that one well. And then we tried safety squeezing home a run with McGuire, and he probably should have let that pitch go. It wasn't a good pitch to bunt. And, disappointing. I thought we could have squeezed one in there to at least tie it and get another run in scoring position and maybe win the game that way. But, it didn't happen. We've got to move on. They've they've got the season series with us, 5-3. So if it does come out to a tie, that's probably what they're going to go to. So, we got to hope Dodge City takes care of business against them, and we got to take care of business against Dodge City.
I'm going to ask you about that safety squeeze because McGuire had a successful sack bunt earlier in the ball game, and looked like you kind of caught them off guard slightly, but as you said, just didn't work out, popped it up. That was obviously a key at bat in that inning.
Oh, it was, and in that spot, first and third, we get that bunt down, and maybe they panic and throw it away, but at least we tie it up and got a guy in second base and scoring position to try to win it. But it didn't. Any of the tricks, the cards we tried to pull tonight, I tried to pull tonight. They didn't work, so you got to move on, and it's one game. We got a lot of games to go.
I want to ask you about Tommy Garcia. Got his first start tonight. He went 6 innings for you, 78 pitches, and seemed to get stronger as the game went along. He really gave you everything and more than you could have hoped for in his first start this summer.
Tommy did very well. He probably went further than I thought he would. That's a lot of pitches for a guy that's used to throwing maybe 4 max. But he was very poised out there, which was good to see.
Well, as you said, a lot of baseball still to go. You have 4 with Dodge. Liberal has 4 with Dodge. And you're tied for first. So I guess the minimum you wanted this week was to get a split in this series. You got that. You maybe don't control your own destiny, but your team's still with a very good chance to win this division. You've got 4 big games here in the next 3 weeks with Dodge City that is going to kind of secure your fate a little bit, but still some important baseball, and the team's still in a good position even though you lose this one.
Yeah, I mean, it's it's not the end of the world. We still got baseball to play. We can't give up because we didn't win this game, a game that we had a chance to win. We've got to battle back and be ready to go when we play Dodge next week.
All right, sounds good, Frank. We appreciate you coming up.
Thank you.
There you go. Larks manager Frank Leo. Hayes losing a tough one tonight to the BJs 5-4 in 10 innings. We'll take another break. Be back with more from Larks Park. You're listening to Larks Baseball on KAYS.